I don't know if I want that many screens in the same room. It seems like overkill. So I
That's
might
when
just like put my laptop in front of like my big monitor and
yeah,
then watch the fights behind me. Even though I'm gonna have like light glaring in my face, I figure it's like, you know,
yeah. It's gonna
it's
look like
not.
the New York Stock Exchange in there having TVs.
Yeah, yeah. I used to have like a really nice like 3 monitor setup,
hmm
and I just preferred having like, so I just traded it out for one massive. How you doing, Paradox? I just traded it out for like one massive like one massive screen, and it's been a bit better to be fair.
Yeah.
How we doing, Torrin?
What's up,
No,
man?
I usually click like dead on half pass, but sometimes it takes a little bit of time for YouTube to kick, and you know how it goes, man. How
Yep.
we doing, Jay Z?
What's up, Jay Z?
What's good,
Um,
brother?
yeah. No, I well, you know, everybody else doesn't know, but like I came from upstairs to downstairs with the whole studio setup, I guess, whatever, and I have not figured anything out whatsoever. I have no idea. So
Yeah, it's a tricky one to navigate. NBA in season tourney groups just dropped. Do you mean like the summer league thing, or is it
no,
the cup thing? Yeah.
yeah, the cup for the in season tourney. I haven't looked at the groups yet, but I saw that it just dropped because I got an alert on ESPN.
Are we putting much stock? I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I didn't give a solitary fuck about the entire thing, to be honest. I don't know how. Maybe it will take a couple of years to get like worth something, but it seems kind of shitty. Like, no, I don't think many teams took it too seriously.
No, not really. I mean, I think it's cool. Like the cup is cool for the players that don't make a ton of money, comparatively speaking. Because like the 10th man, the 11th man on the bench, they get a nice chunk of change if they win. So it's good for them, but they just trying to do soccer type things. That's all it is. Get the season being more relevant.
I guess maybe, like I said, maybe it will take a little bit of time to kick off, and yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see. I'm definitely going to do a parlay builder at some point in the stream as well. So we'll. Yeah, Torrent. The next two are they are garbage. But I tell you what, though, yeah, I looked over them with UJax yesterday. We had like a detailed look at both cards. They're not as bad as I initially thought.
no,
Like there
no,
are a couple of bangers. Like when I first looked at them, because obviously I was just looking mainly at the main cards. It's like, yeah, these are dog shit. But then when you actually look at the whole cards, there's a few bangers in there.
yeah, I think so. There's a lot of underrated fights that could, but these are the cards that we're like we have very low expectations, and it ends up being a little bit better than we thought, and that's a win. We're gonna watch it anyway, so it's like,
Oh yeah. We were talking about the same thing yesterday. It's
yeah,
like they don't care
mhm.
about us. They
No,
don't
they
care
don't.
about pleasing us hardcores.
Not at all. And they really, honestly, they shouldn't,
Nah.
because we're gonna be there anyway. We'll
It's like
complain,
I
but we'll
hate
be
this
there.
shit. What time is it on? Can
Yep.
you? Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't know, man. I think the main event is okay. It's okay. Um, it's got some names in it.
Torren, do you mean the Manchester card? That Manchester card is fucking fire, bro.
Yeah, it is. The Manchester card is dope.
I don't think
Um,
they could have made it any better. Really.
nope. Nope.
I'm
Not
well
at all.
excited for that shit. Yeah, we've got to get through the next 2 weeks, but I'm kind of like I kind of feel like it's fine in my case because it's like I said, the card's going to be in England, and I feel like there's a build up. It's like
Yeah,
I don't want to pump and dump all my MMA juices for the, if that makes sense.
it does make sense.
Holland versus Cannonier would have been a nice fight.
It would have been.
I know a lot of people were bitching about Holland potentially getting the shot. But if anyone deserves it, he should be able to call out whoever the fuck he wants at this point. of how many times he stepped in and fought across
Hmm.
different weight classes and taken fights he shouldn't have taken. I mean, even like the fact that he took like the Chimaev fight
Hmm.
under the circumstances, he should have a couple of you know, he should get a few favors just for that.
Yeah, I'm sure they gave him. He's got at least two Willy Wonka golden tickets that he can use at various points, and the Cannoneer fight would have been a good one for him to use if they could have put that together.
I wouldn't have
Because
hated his chances in that one either. I don't think it would have been bad.
nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. Not especially based on what we saw with Cannoneer against Imavov. Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. Nah, Torren, I don't think you're crazy for that one. I think it's a it's a winnable fight for Tony. Don't get me wrong, but they should. There was a layup there to just give him Nick Diaz. And I know there's a thing where apparently the Diaz brothers don't fight each other's opponents, but I'm sure something could have been worked out. You know, a little cherry on top, and
that'd have
I
been a
think they don't
far
want to be
more
compared to each
entertaining
other.
fight.
Yeah, I think there was room to maneuver for that one. I think they could have done something with it.
Yeah, I don't think you're delusional. I think that Tony can beat him. I just don't.
Think he will.
I don't favor him at all in it. But I mean, it's possible. Tony has shown flashes of being competent, but they're flashes. It's the problem.
It's usually
It,
flashes. Yeah,
but Kiesa's garbage now. So
it's definitely winnable. It's definitely winnable. I probably suggest that because we've seen Tony get choked out a couple times. That's probably the especially. I don't like him at welterweight, especially how soy he is now, and because he looks like he still has his lightweight frame, but he's just fighting in a higher weight class, and I don't like that.
yeah, yeah, it's true. It's true.
It's basically Oni Ferguson. He's got no T left. You know what I mean? Here's what it is. How we doing, WMC? How you doing, brother?
What's up, Western? Randy signed for a fight. That's interesting. Um, I wonder who it is. Dude, that division is so nasty. Like it could be anybody.
It
Be
really could.
excited to see who that is.
I assume he's getting somebody between 10 and 15. I'd imagine he's probably at that stage now.
Yeah, yeah, I would think so. What do you think about a potential Wonder Boy versus Buckley fight, though?
I'm all right with it. I'm all right with it. I don't think it's terrible. Woodley's, oh, sorry, I'm Woodley. Wonderboy's got to fight somebody at this stage because he's ancient and he's running out of time.
Hmm.
And he wants somebody. I don't like the fight for him because I think Buckley is just going to take him down and maul him potentially. But he's got to take somebody. If he can engage Buckley into a stand up fight, I think he'll do very well. But Buckley's always got that option. So yeah, I think Buckley would I'd pick Buckley to I haven't picked against Buckley in a while. Even when he was fighting the Sultan, I was like, nah, he's gonna get it done. I know Buckley's a bit of a moron, but I'm quite high on him at the moment. I mean a moron in terms of his call outs, but
Yeah.
I quite that wouldn't be bad for the sphere as well. We talked about and we actually made a video yesterday talking about fights we want to see on the sphere. And we didn't even bring up
Hmm.
Buckley.
Sure
How we
didn't.
doing, Larry?
Sure did not. Um, I don't know. I guess it didn't bring him up because, like, why? Like on this particular card, like, not that I don't want to see him fight or anything, but just like, why? Why would I put him on this particular one? Um, but as far as that fight in general, he has to take him down, in my opinion. He
Oh
has to
yeah,
have
yeah.
because he ain't
No,
gonna do it. He won't
nobody
sit
really
back.
should stand and bang with Wonder Boy. It's not a good idea.
Awful decision.
I know Pettis got it done, but it's like it's not really usually a wise choice for anyone.
Yeah, Pettis did
He
get
is
it
in the
done.
upper echelon of pure strikers. Like,
Hmm. Pettis got it done, but it was a hail mary that just happened to work.
yeah,
Because he was losing.
he was. Torrance saying he'd rather see Wonder Boy versus MVP. I don't hate that, but I think it would be a lot of I think it would be way too tactical, and I could see it being very fucking boring. That's my issue with it.
Ooh, that's a good question.
I really, I don't know. It's having email in here is like a blessing and a
Yeah,
curse.
he's so wild. He's so
It's like a
wild.
blessing and a curse for sure. What's better for self defense, kickboxing or Krav Maga? I feel like we covered this one before, but we can again. Uh, I don't really believe Krav Maga is a real thing. I'm pretty sure it's a fictitious fucking mixed martial art. I've never seen in combat sports background people having a or admitting to having a Krav Maga background. I'll put it that way.
um, I know
It's
that
rare. I'll put it that way. If it
it's
does
a
exist,
it's an Israeli special forces type of thing. I know that, and I've seen Krav Maga gyms, but as far as like a base for fighting in a cage, like no, because it, if Krav Maga is going to be effective, you have to do all the things that you cannot do in cage fighting.
yeah.
Headbutts, biting, twisting things that shouldn't be twisted. Like that's part of Krav Maga. So if you're doing it for self defense, then yeah, it would work. It's just literally just all of the things that you're not supposed to do those things and you'll be successful. So I mean, yeah. If it's a female trying to defend herself on the subway, like yeah, you should probably do the Krav Maga thing.
Well, I put it this way. I'm willing to go as far as to say that it's better than knowing nothing.
It
Barely,
is better than knowing nothing. Yeah.
barely, but it's better than knowing nothing. Like it seems very much like it seems just a bit soy to me. I don't know. From what I've seen of it, it's very much like when they have those video clips of there's a guy saying this is how you like disarm somebody with a gun, and you're like, nah, bro, you're gonna get shot if you try to do that shit. I kind of
Yep.
feel that way with Krav Maga. You need the
No, it
person to
does.
stay still, and then like there's it's like when you see it's like it kind of reminds me of like when you see Steven Seagal like, and there's one person running up to him at a time, and they're clearly not trying to attack him, and he's just flipping them over. That's how I kind of see Krav Maga,
Slowly too.
real slowly as well.
You're trying
And
to
then
cushion that
sometimes
fall.
one of the guys forgets he's supposed to be next, and then there's an awkward moment where it's like they're all standing around.
Mm-hmm. He's like, oh, am I two or am I three? Okay, I'm three. You go ahead. Like,
Or then two of them run at the same time, and then
they
it's
think,
like
oh, my
just
bad, my
he's just
bad.
like shit.
We
Yeah,
practiced this.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I saw the Dustin P clowning of Chandra. I think what did you reckon of that? Dustin's your boy. How did you feel about that moment?
I mean, he took the opportunity, I guess, but like, to me, I feel like it's kind of overkill. Like you already beat him. Like you don't have to keep on doing the
Kicking him
thing.
when he no, to be fair though, Chandler did he chimed in when there was no need to.
He
Like even
did.
when I saw that tweet, I was like, from you? Like, nah, bro.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. Because I mean, who was talking about it? It might have been ITP talking
It
about.
was Makashev. So Poirier said, let's run it back, and Makashev was like, no thanks. And then
Mhm.
Chandler tried to jump on the bandwagon and be like, yeah, no thanks. We're good, bro, or something like that. And I was like, bro, you're not
Like,
like
you might want to shut up.
yeah, you better shut your fucking mouth, man.
Yeah, no, I mean I can understand that, but that's very Connor like, to jump into that conversation like that. But
Ragnar in the building. I just want to say what's
what's
up
up?
to Ragnar. It's good to have you back, brother. We've missed you around here, man. It's nice to have you
Yeah,
back up in here. No, Ragnar is our Norwegian representative
yeah, he's with the dope name.
with the dope name. Yeah, the sickest name in the game. Um, yeah, I feel like he was piling on a little bit, but like, fuck him. Chandler is I get the feeling that he doesn't have many friends.
Mm-mm.
I get that sense. Everyone kind of just sees him as the. I think Poirier mentioned it, like he's a company guy who's a bit of a follow, and that's kind of how I see him as well. It's like he's just a
Okay.
bit of a clown, isn't he?
Yep.
Bit of a
Yep.
harmless clown.
Yeah. Harmless is definitely the key word there.
I don't think Todd. I don't think they're gonna do. I don't think they'll do Dustin versus Connor 4. I don't think Connor's fighting ever again. I'll
I
be
don't.
real. in
I
less than those
wouldn't be
cycles.
hyped to see it either, to be
Nah,
honest. I mean,
I think from what we saw of the last two fights, it was fairly conclusive that Poirier's got his number now
yeah.
because he's actually a serious fighter who goes to the gym and does what he's supposed to do.
Yep.
So that is what it is.
Dude, that's a good question. Cold Art Maker said, "Who wins, Prime Connor or Edson Barbosa?" Um, that's the fight that I really wanted to happen too back then. But obviously Connor didn't need to jump into the lightweight rankings to work his way up. And at the time, I think Edson Barbosa was like number 5, something like that.
Oh, my bad, Ragnar. I got the wrong dude. He's the Spaniard. He's the
Oh,
Spanish
that's right. He's
representative.
Spaniard.
Sorry, yeah, sorry about that.
But no, I think I don't know. I don't know. That's a toss up. Edson Barbosa does not get the credit that he deserves as far as the the striking that he had back then. Um, he was super elite.
I'd probably side Connor in that situation, but I can't really figure out why. I'm like,
I just really wanted to see it.
I feel like a prime Connor with the prime for me the prime Connor is the guy who fought Eddie Alvarez.
Yeah.
And like I'm like I find it very other than like Khabib and Islam, I struggle to think of anybody who beats that version of Connor at that weight class that I can think of off the top of my head. And that probably sounds like not riding a little bit, but
No, I don't think so because that version of Connor, which I think is kind of the peak Connor too, was just his timing, his precision, his commitment to the game was like the highest that it was ever going to be. So
yeah,
that's not a bad thought process at all.
yeah. The problem with that as a comeback torrent is it's Bellator. That's the
Yeah.
major issue there. It's like I think what would you rather have? Like, would you rather have an interim UFC title or be a 50-time Bellator champion? I don't know. I'd have to think about that one. I'll be honest. I'd have to give
Yeah.
that one some thought.
Yeah, I'm not bringing up no Bellator nothing.
He's Chandler's not going to bring up Bellator. I imagine it would upset Uncle
No,
Dana, so I don't think he would do that.
no, no.
I'm kind of with you on torrent with the Tony Ferguson take though. I think Tony Ferguson would beat Connor. Prime Connor. I think he would just drag him into deep waters because Connor would basically have to chin him out in the first 2 rounds, and Prime Tony ain't getting chinned out by nobody.
Nah, no, his chin was crazy.
I think it would have been similar to the Diaz fight where Connor would have dominated the first 2 rounds and made him look silly, and then he would have gassed out, and Ferguson would have started wearing him down. I could see like a 3-2.
Hey,
Or I
have
could
you
see like
wa-
2 first rounds to Connor, and then the third round being very much, and then the last 2 rounds being Tony.
Yeah. Have you rewatched the second Nate fight before?
I have, yeah. I watched it quite because we did a video on like robberies, right?
Yeah.
So I rewatched the second fight, and to be honest, yeah, I'm more convinced than ever that Connor won that fight pretty clearly. Like I feel like it could be you could give it a draw potentially. How you doing, Ghost ASMR? Nice to have you here.
Go
And
for
somebody
ASMR.
from New Zealand, that's fucking dope, bro.
Yeah.
We certainly are turning into a, like we've got like some world representation going on for sure. We've got
Hmm.
Spaniards and Norwegians and people from Stoke. Sick. It works for me. Um, yeah, it's I think he won that fight pretty clearly. I don't even think it was a bad decision. I would have put it as, and I don't even have it as much. It was a close fight and that there was some back and forth, but I had Connor like clearly winning the fight.
Hmm.
I think
I
like the way
haven't
things
I
are
haven't
now, he would
rewatched
have
it.
definitely had a 10-8 in the second, and that would have killed it.
I didn't rewatch it in its entirety. I watched enough to know that I felt like the right decision was made, but I need to watch it like in its entirety and probably score it. Um,
How you doing, Northie? By the way, if you're new here, subscribe to Northie. Really amazing YouTube experience over there. If you want to see what a day in the life of somebody who's living homeless is like, that's the guy. And obviously, if you're somebody who donates on YouTube, I strongly recommend you get the fuck over to Northwest 425 because it's money that's actually going in the right place. And PayPal instead of YouTube. Don't give YouTube any of that fucking money.
Yeah.
Just a tip. So shout out to my boy Northie, and his sick beard. Um,
Alive is good. Alive is the best option.
yeah. Sorry, I just realized I missed something quite crucial there. Hang on a sec. How would Connor
Oh,
versus Leon go? I think Leon would fuck his shit up
yeah, it
quite
wouldn't go
easily.
well. Wouldn't go well for Connor.
I see that being a rare Leon knockout, to be honest.
Yeah, probably so. Anakin said something earlier. He said he asked our thoughts on Gane versus Volkov 2 announcement and the Imavov versus Allen fight in Paris.
Yeah, I like Imavov in that fight. Should we do a poll for that one
Yeah, why
before I
not?
start sticking my 2 cents? And hang on a second, I might get a little feedback here because I haven't opened my own YouTube yet. So apologies if I suddenly start. Hang on a sec. If you suddenly hear some feedback, there it is. All right, so we'll do. I do want to start getting people's opinion because I definitely need to do because I have not built a parlay for this weekend and I need something to get me through that card. I need a little juice. I talked to you yesterday. I might do Imavov or Allen. I might do like a double, like a high dollar double on Rose and Bonfim because I think they're both relative locks. I think I might put like $250 on like a nice little double. That's been going really, really well for me over the last few months. Like I'll
Yeah.
throw a few parlays on it, and as they all crumble one by one, I'm like, fuck it. And I just throw a big amount on like the main and co-main and manage to make out like a bandit. So how are we doing so far on the poll? I'm going. Ooh, so far we've got 100% Imavov. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. People don't like Brendan Allen, man. I know Tats don't like him at all.
Yeah, as soon as we start on Brandon Allen, like Tats just goes into a fucking rage, and rightfully so. Like he is annoying.
Yeah.
That's a difficult one to defend, to be honest. We might have our first like whitewash poll here. It's been a long time. 11 votes, 100%. Yeah, that is
Dude,
unprecedented up in here.
they do not like that dude. They don't mess
I'll
with
be
him.
real with you.
But what about the Gane and Volkov one?
Oh, that's a good. That was one that I accidentally skipped over as well. Yeah, Gon and Volkov. Gon is just such a massive pussy, isn't he? I'm not saying that like Volkov is an easy fight because he's not, but like Jesus, man, it's like you beat him already. Fight. I think Volkov is potentially more dangerous than like people are saying he's ducking Jelton Almeida. I don't think that's really the case because I think Garn's got the game to deal with Jelton quite easily, but it's still a pussy move because you've already beaten him. So it's like fight somebody else, you fucking French coward. Sorry, did I go too far?
I'm just glad he's fighting somebody.
At least he's taking a fight. Yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise, he had that whole, I'm only fighting for a belt thing. It's like, dude,
And it would be so great if Volkov beat him because I'm going to be backing Volkov all day for that one. I don't think
that would
I'm
be
not sure if he's going to win, but
hilarious.
it would be
Would be
so funny.
hilarious. ITP said something about Volkov using his takedowns. I mean, I think that would be great if he does it, but Cyril Gane actually has some pretty decent takedown defense most of the time. Now, if you get him down, he has no idea what's happening.
Yeah,
He loses all intelligence. But I think Gon beats him again, which sucks for Volkov.
But it's a fight that Volkov's kind of got to take at this point because he's lost to everyone above him already. Like he lost to Blades UD quite comfortably. He lost to
Mhm.
Tom. He's not
Finished
going to
him
get the
first.
Jones fight.
Nope.
It's kind of like he's stuck between a rock and a hard place now. But
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to do better than he did last time.
Yeah, I think he's improved, and I think he'll show that. I think he'll definitely show that.
Yeah, that's the thing I hate about Cyril is the I deserve a title shot. Every time he gets like a mid win, he's like, right, where's my title shot now? It's like, bro, you've already had two and you're beating fat, dumpy heavyweights to get it. Fuck off. Stop ducking people. And you know. Yeah, I like Aaron. I don't think Gelton is bad. My issue with Gelton is that I feel like he's too small for heavyweight. I know the guy's yoked, but he just like I don't think he's big enough to deal with those welterweights. And the Curtis Blaze fights demonstrated that. Like he definitely struggled a little bit with I think when it gets to those I know that Dana glosses quite a little bit, but he does have a point. You know for those guys who are like legit 265 where they're cutting down to 265. So Garn would fall into that category. Tom would fall into that category. Volkov would fall into that category. I don't like Gelton Almeida in any of those matchups.
Yeah, he's little, man. He's little. I really was hoped that he went down when he was making the decision on which one he was going to pick. He was kind of going back and forth and fighting both divisions. I was hoping he was going to stick with light heavyweight, um, but I guess he just felt like he wanted to eat. So it's all good.
Yeah,
He's not
I
getting a
think
belt.
I'm with Jay Z though. I think they should have just made the Garn and Almeida fight. I'm always about just like make fresh matchups. Like I was more in favor of Volkov waiting for the loser of Aspinall and Blades. I
Yeah,
think was what I mentioned because it's
yeah.
like
To me,
Garn,
that I would have
we
liked
just
that
feel like we're
better.
giving Garn a way out again. It's like somebody else he's already, and I'm saying like don't get me wrong, Volkov is decent, but I want to see fresh matchups if Garn's going to be partaking in them. I think with the problem with Garn is like as soon as somebody calls him out, he's like no, no, I'm not. He needs to be offered a fight as opposed to being have a fighter call him out. Like as soon as he gets off, as soon as somebody calls him out, he's like fuck you. How'd you like my French
And
accent?
did his mustache.
Fuck you, bro.
Yeah.
Block of cheese in one hand, red wine in the other. Yeah.
See, Aaron said that he disagrees. He thinks Johnson gets smoked by Tom, but he was legit throwing blades around in the first round of their fight. Even
That's
though,
the thing. He can throw people around, but then with the bigger guys, he can't do much when they're on the ground.
yeah,
This is, I mean, look what he did against Volkov. He basically teabagged him for 25 minutes, and it
same
was
thing he did.
horrible to watch.
Yeah.
Did the same thing with Lewis. It's like
Hmm.
he doesn't do much when they're down there. And against somebody like Blades who can weather the storm a little bit, get back up, and then throw some hands, you ain't winning it. You ain't winning any of those fights. Like I think Gon would have. I think Gon would have fucked him up as well. That's why Gon should have taken it. It's like that's another name you've got on your resume that you can say, right, this is another guy from the heavyweight division that I've got rid of. It gives you more of a claim. Like, does beating Volkov again do that?
Yeah. I'm curious, like, if he went down to light heavyweight and, him against somebody like a Alex Pereira,
Could be
like,
interesting.
that would be interesting. That would be interesting because you know what he wants to do. And there's not a lot of fighters in that division that do that. And that is a part of Alex's game that is not as tested as maybe some purists think it should be.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And I'm very much with like, I do think Almeida struggles on the feet. He's not good standing.
No, he
Um,
got some kicks, but that's about it.
that's about it. But I'm also on the side of like, I think Garn needs to fight a legit grappler as well before we can say, yeah, put him against a Tom or or a Blades. I'd
Yeah.
favor Blades against Garn, and people might call me crazy for that, but I'm quite high on Curtis Blades. I think he's quite good, man.
Yeah.
Like I'm genuinely worried about this fight.
Let's
I'm the
see.
6%. Oh, fuck you, I9s, man. We almost had a clean sweep there. It was so close. I was looking forward to taking a screenshot of that and framing it behind me.
See, I had to go back to see
Ruined.
Western's comment from earlier. He said Volkov trained to beat his friend, the Russian human tank, and won while Gon was dog sitting his boyfriend's French poodle. It ain't close this time.
I can't believe I missed that comment.
Yeah, Western, we
I'm
missed it. My
surprised you were
bad.
ragging on us for going back and doing that. No, I genuinely didn't see it. You know how I am. Yeah, I9s has just ruined what was turning into my favorite poll of all time.
It was a good one. It was a
Do you
good
know,
one.
I9s, while you're here, I feel like this is a very good time to bring up what we were. I mean, we can obviously diverge back and forth between topics, but obviously, like one thing we wanted to center on this chat today was talking about our own like YouTube experiences in terms of how we started out in YouTube, how things were going, and how we may have reached points along the line where
Yeah.
we almost left the platform for one reason or another. Um, See, I wanted to know what your take on it, Jax, was as well, because we haven't really spoken about this.
No, we
We
haven't.
we talk quite a bit off stream, but like it's not something that we've really brought up. So yeah, what was your experience of the whole thing?
Crystal's crazy. Um, so as far as like quitting or thinking about quitting, I mean, it's been multiple times that I've thought about quitting. I think the first time I thought about quitting was probably after the first maybe 3 or 4 videos, and I was like, dude, I'm spending a lot of time, and this is
Nobody's watching this shit. What's
I
going
was like,
on? I thought
you
I was
know
gonna have
what?
100,000 subscribers by now.
I was like, nobody wants to pay attention to this. I was like, I don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing to try to get people to pay attention to anything that I'm saying. Why should they care? I'm nobody really. But I was like, ah. And my son, he had a YouTube channel and he did a very similar thing. And he was just like, man, I'm not doing this no more. And he actually did quit. And I was like, nah, I don't want to be that guy. So let me show him that you got to keep going. So I was like, all right, we keep on making some videos. And then like it actually started to get fun to where like I was learning stuff as far as like how to do video production, how to edit, and with my background being in design and all that stuff, like pulling all that stuff in. And I was like, okay, this is actually kind of being cool. But
And then the
then,
process started to become a little bit more fun, so you could like
yeah,
do it for yourself as opposed to anything else. Like,
yep, pretty much. And then I started to, get people that, kind of appreciated the what I was doing, especially other YouTubers. Um, but yeah, when we connected, um, it was after I connected with Spence, and then funny enough, one of the people that commented on one of my videos that kind of gave me a reason to be like, okay, people are paying attention was actually Chris Curtis. Chris Curtis
really?
commented, yeah, he commented, and I was like, oh, okay, so if Chris Curtis, who is traditionally a really sour person on social media, comments on it and like a positive comment, okay, I was like, okay, I might need to keep doing this whole thing.
Yeah.
Um, but I almost quit again, probably like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was like a very the thing is, yeah, when I first started out on my YouTube thing, I had very low expectations. So I was like, it's unlikely that so it wasn't so much that people weren't watching the videos. Because I think my first time I thought about quitting was about 9 months in. I'd reached about 300 or 400 subscribers at that point, which was way beyond what I was expecting. And the videos were kind of very hit and miss. Some of them were doing all right. And when I say all right, a couple of hundred views, and then some of them would be like 50, 60.
Yeah.
Um, so it wasn't so much the views that were bumming me out. It was more the fact that there was very little interaction going on. So like I wouldn't get very many comments in the videos that I was doing, if at all. And you remember what I used to do when I first started out YouTube? I used to have like a PowerPoint and then I'd speak. So I'd have like I do a card breakdown and then I do a card reaction. And the way that I used to do it was, first of all, a fuckload of research had to go into breaking down each card, which is very hard to
Mhm.
find time to do when you full-time father and all that stuff. But also the ones that would kill me is I'd watch the fights live and then I'd kind of write down little things, little notes as the fights were going on. And then I felt like I had to record a reaction video right after it. And
Mhm.
like my filming and editing process wasn't that good. And obviously, being in the UK, card finishes at 6:30 in the morning. The first thing you want to do is go to bed. And
Yeah.
you're like, fuck, I need to do a reaction video right now. And then you sit down and then like you're exhausted and then do you know what I mean? And then pump it because I felt like I had to react to them immediately or there was no point. So
Yeah.
I was getting a little bit jaded with it. And it was literally the same experience as you. It was like somebody, I was like 9 months in and I was thinking, I missed one fight reaction where I was like, fuck it, I don't really want to, I was exhausted and I ended up going to sleep and then recording it later.
Mhm.
But then, after I recorded it like 7 or 8 hours later, I got a message from Mikey for the first time, interacting with the video. And then I was like, it just rejuvenated me. And I was like, oh, well, at least there's one person out there
Yeah.
who's watching and is engaging. So it kind of drove me on to continue. And then one thing I will say though, because I know that obviously Northwest does his thing, Ironines does his thing. Obviously, you're doing your thing. Paradox is obviously quite new in the game as well. The one thing you've got to be aware of is like when those moments hit, you just got to plow through it and stay consistent because it
Mhm.
eventually just gets to a point where something will happen where people will engage and then things kind of take off from there. And it's kind of, if once you started, there's no point in giving up, I guess.
Yeah. Like I feel like you have to understand like why you're doing it. I kind of alluded to it just a moment ago when he said that he would never quit talking about combat sports. Like you have to understand why you're doing it and like figure that your why is outside of what other people can give to you.
Hmm.
So if your why is because you like doing, talking about combat sports, then keep talking about it. And everything else is just, gravy after that. But like if it is dictated by other people, you're never really going to be satisfied. So you got to figure out, a different kind of why. Is it, I'm trying to be better at just making videos. Like I want to make really good content. Well, keep it
Yeah.
right there. And that's
Keep it
kind
at
of
the
how,
content rather than what you get out of it. Like, don't worry
yeah,
about who's watching or who's commenting. Just make the stuff that you want to talk about and
yeah, because you
enjoy the
really can't
process of
dictate it.
it.
You really can't dictate what other people are going to do. We could have opened up the stream and like nobody came, but we're still going to sit here on the stream and talk about it.
Oh,
So
definitely. Yeah, yeah. But we're grateful to everyone who is here, by the way. 'Cause it does
yeah,
help.
yeah, it does
Yeah.
help. It makes it a lot more entertaining and a lot more rewarding for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm glad we've continued because, like I said, I mean, I feel like I say it every time we're on stream. But the one thing that makes me more grateful than anything is obviously having a community of people who tune in and interact with us. It makes everything worth it. Like the rest of it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's like once you get to a certain stage on YouTube, and I think I mostly say this to people who are new to it, you do definitely reach a point where you're like, I still get a buzz obviously when I get like I still get a buzz whenever I get a new sub, even if it's one.
Me too.
I'm like, fuck me, this is awesome. Like every single time I get it, it's amazing. But like, um, it gets to a point where it feels like the once you've got a solid core amount of people who swing by and talk shit with you, and you feel like you know people, um, it becomes less important. I don't even look at the views on my videos anymore. I used to. I used to be checking them like every 10 hours, being like, "Has anyone
Bruh,
watched it?" Nah,
I
no.
still do.
I don't. Yeah,
I
I don't.
look
I
at
don't
'em
look. I don't even
I
do it
look at 'em
anymore. I don't look at the views.
because I still like I want people to look at the video and be like, that was like engaging and like what he was talking about
Yeah,
was
and it does
interesting
help you figure stuff out as well, like
and I
what's
got
working
something
and
to
what's
say
not
about it.
working.
You know what I'm saying? Like most of the videos that I have that I make are when they're like, especially like the video essay ones are
Hmm.
me asking a question. Like I throw out some information, like this is what I saw, this is what I put together, but like what do you think? And that's really
Yeah,
what I'm trying to understand is like, well, what do y'all think about this? It's like substituting because y'all know that we're in a situation with mixed martial arts, like everybody don't like it. We
Yeah,
can't just go outside and talk to somebody that is into it. It's just not like that. So this is the community, and y'all are the people that we have to talk to about it. So here's my list. What do you think about it? Is it terrible? Is it great? Like, what's up? You know?
yeah. It's like when I went to Bellator a couple of weeks ago, and I was on my way back from the event had finished, and I was on my way back to the airport, and I was in the cab, and the cab driver started like talking to me about MMA because obviously he picked me up from outside the venue, and I was genuinely like, "Holy shit, man! Somebody's talking to me about this in person. Like, there's a real life person in front of me talking to me," and it was kind of like it just reminded me of what the whole process is like on here.
Yeah,
It's like obviously I'm so used to speaking to you guys now on a weekly basis, but it's like it was just such a. It's weird that it was a strange experience that I could have a conversation about it face to face, and it felt like a monumental moment.
for sure, for sure.
It's weird. MMA still isn't there, man. Like, I
Nah,
talk about boxing with my boys in person all the time. Football, vagina, obviously, like always gets a shout out.
that's
But like,
universal.
MMA just ain't there.
Nah, it ain't.
It just ain't
It
there
ain't.
yet. It is still a step behind. It's not really as mainstream as we think it is because we're hardcores, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. And thanks for the sub, Toron. Appreciate that.
How you doing, Connor's Power as well? Yeah. So just to kind of round this one off, is there any? Because we're going to get back to just engaging with the chat full on, but this is something I did feel like we wanted to talk about, especially with having so many creators in the yeah, that cab driver was not a Conor fan as well, I have to say. Being in Ireland was really funny. He went in on Conor McGregor. Um, but there's one other thing I wanted to bring up before we get back to engaging fully with the chat. Is there any video that you've made that you put like a real amount of work in or had like real passion about that you
Mm,
wish had done better? Like you thought that this is a video that really represents who we are and who I am, but it didn't really quite hit the level of viewership that you were hoping it was gonna.
man, like I got a few, but I think like my most recent one is, it could be that Chat GPT joint. That one was cool. But I have 3 videos that I did last year. It was the top 5 fighters of all time in the bantamweight, featherweight, and lightweight divisions. I was going to do all the divisions, right? But I did those, and like, I mean, I got a few, responses or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
a few views, and I was like, well, I'm not gonna do middleweight and light heavyweight and all. I'm not gonna keep going. Y'all don't even want it. And so it was almost like I got bitter, and I was like, nah, I ain't doing it. But
Yeah.
those videos, like I actually put a lot of thought into those. Um, whereas, what I'm saying, that short that I did a couple of weeks ago, like there was nothing, there was no thought, no nothing put into that. I recorded myself talking for 15 seconds and posted it.
And then
That
you
was
ended up
it.
getting what, like 10,000 views on it or something, which is
That
just
thing is
crazy.
at 11, almost 12,000 views.
That's madness. Do you know what I realized today? Yeah, I posted like a short, the short I was telling you about that we did with Rosie. I posted
Yeah,
that
yeah.
today, yeah. And I realized, yeah, that's my 300th video on this platform. So I felt like
That's wild.
I fucking what a waste of a 300 video that was. Like, I was genuinely like, I should have held off and let this one be the 300th video, but I didn't realize at the time that it was the 300th one. I mean, it doesn't really matter, I suppose, in the grand scheme of things, but it's a hell of a
It
weak
matters
fucking
to
video to
you.
have as
It
your.
does matter.
It's a hell of a weak one to have as your 300th. On the topic of mine, I would say that do you remember a while back here we did a video on I'm gonna try and find the link for it because do you remember when we did that video on Power Slap?
Oh yeah, dude, that was so funny though. That
Bro,
was
here's
such
the
a
thing, yeah. Like,
funny
I'm gonna
video.
post it in the chat now for anyone who feels I might even pin it for anyone who feels like watching it at some point. The reason why I love that video so much, yeah, is when we initially set out to do that topic, right? It was supposed to be like we didn't even want to do it. Do you remember? I don't
Yeah.
even want to really talk about Power Slap,
And I
and it
feel
was
like it was
supposed to be like
it
a
was like
five
one of
six
the
minute
last
video.
ones that we did that day too, because like
It was.
I
We
don't know
would.
if y'all
Yeah.
know it, like we record multiple videos in one sitting, and
Yeah.
that was like the 5th one that we were doing. So we were like, kind of tired, especially about this topic too.
Yeah. 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 And then we literally like it was supposed to be like a 5-6 minute like throwaway video, and then we just went fucking in. I've never had so much fun making a video. Like
That
we
was
strictly like threw the plan out of the window. I think if you want to see what our personalities are like, the three of us together on stream, I feel like that's my favorite video to. It had been a while since I went back and watched it, and I went and watched it back this morning, and it was still like nah. Like I really enjoyed just like I remember the experience of what it was like making that video live,
yeah.
and how everything just went out the window, and we just ended up just enjoying the experience for what it was and just ripping the piss out of something. Um, so it's definitely one if you want to get kind of a flavor of what Frankie and Jax will be like. Just to give a quick shout out to the joint channel that we're obviously trying to build from the ground again. Um, that to me sums up of what the three of us are like when we're cooking.
Yeah.
When we're tired, when we don't care anymore, and we're just like fuck it, we just go completely off kilter and just let things flow. And it's just a video that I wish had got a little bit more attention because I feel like it really sums us up, you know. But yeah.
Yeah. No, that
Anyway,
was
sorry, I'm
good.
going to get back to the chats now as well because I apologize for obviously neglecting you guys.
Ghost ASMR said that he thinks that he can beat Francis Ngannou in a street fight, and they're 260. I think you might need a weapon. If you have a
I was gonna
weapon,
ask how big you were because first of all, if you were like I'm 170, I'm like let's we might need to have a very I don't want you getting yourself in trouble. Do you know what I mean?
TP, what's up, bro? Phil's in here.
Oh, Phil's up and by the way, Phil, while you're here, I did ask Phil. I was in Phil's live chat earlier. The reason why I wanted Phil to turn up, Phil, you just missed the conversation we had about almost quitting YouTube. It would have been perfect to have your take on that. Obviously, as a big person on the platform yourself, the reason why I wanted to bring you in, Phil, as well is first of all, obviously, we talked about doing collab work in the past, but I'm actually working on a video at the moment that I'd really like your input on. I did a part of it with you, Jax, yesterday about I'm
Mhm.
not going to go into too many specifics, just in case somebody decides to gank my idea,
And they will.
and they will. It was fire. Um, but no, Phil, I'm trying to hit you up on Discord, but for some reason I can't join it. So I'm trying to find a way to get in contact with you so I can just get your input on it. Now I'm basically doing a collaboration, but I've got like Brutally did his one, Dougie did his, you did yours, and we could do with one or two more people just with their input on this particular topic. So I'm basically looking for like a 1-minute clip that I can add to, and I think your take would be awesome. Anyway, sorry, that's just a sidebar. I made a video on Lucas Tracy and genuinely hoped it would hit 50K, even though it's not realistic. It did get a solid lot of engagement, but it didn't hit the audience exactly how I wanted. That's the thing, man. That's somehow where it goes, though, isn't it? And I see
Yeah.
people testify to this as well. Sometimes you get like a banger of an idea that you feel like, yep, the mainstream are talking about it. This is gonna catch fire, and it just doesn't.
Yep.
And it's like you can't. And then I'll do a YouTube video that has chick with a dick as the thumbnail, and it becomes my
And
most
it blew
watched,
up.
and it became
Yeah.
my most watched video on my channel. Those are another moments of a should I just quit
That's what
moment.
people want to
Like,
see. That's what people want to
so I
see.
have to resort to this bullshit to get people to watch my video.
He said you shouldn't limit a channel to just gay MMA. No, you should do all inclusive, not just the
Yeah,
gay MMA.
yeah. It's it's another heartbreaking thing about YouTube as well. It's like, bro, it's like I feel like I have to basically sink to the lowest of depths
Yeah.
in order to get people to click on. And it's like I don't know if I'm willing to whore myself for YouTube. I mean, I really have to think about it. It's
I'm
like
not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
I think timing comes into everything because I've tried different variants of things, talking about things that I think are topical, using keywords, posting videos at certain times. I think it all just comes down to timing and it just having I don't know a certain amount of people click on it at the right time, and then it just kind of filters into other people's. You know what I mean? Oh man. Takati, with you and fucking with you and fucking Melson in here, I can't get through an entire stream without having
Oh
some kind of
my
mini aneurysm. I'm not gonna say that out loud, but you know what? I'll do you a solid, and I'll no pun intended.
Man, you got a fan. He's a fan. He's a fan.
This
He's
is
a
how you know
fan.
you've made it. This is how you know you've made it when you get
Oh
wait,
my goodness.
this is
Oh,
tricky.
that's hilarious.
I'm
No,
totally thrown
ITP.
off now. I don't know where the fuck I was, man.
Well, I was gonna say to ITP, like him saying that he has no idea what makes videos viral. Like, I mean, you have some semblance of it, on your other channel is amazing, but I I think you have a better grasp than some of us new guys. But it's a hard, equation to try to figure out. And sometimes you hit one of them, one of the markers, like your thumbnail is killing it, and people are clicking, but you get low engagement, or just the formula is stupid. Nobody, Mr. Beast got it down, but like it's so hard. It's so hard to figure out.
Yeah. I'm just very much of the approach of it, and I'm sure ITP feels this way as well. Sorry, Phil feels this way as well, or Fee feels this way as well. I've just given up on trying to figure it out. Musical MMA.
What
I'm so glad you're here, yeah, because you were driving home streaming, and I was worried. I'm not gonna lie.
he said, he has a sneaky suspicion that my neighbor beneath me is dead. I have a story about a neighbor beneath me. That yeah, some wild stuff
Beneath you
happened.
or beneath you?
It
Like,
wasn't beneath me. It was the lower, like the floor beneath me.
mm.
Yeah. I'll tell you
Yeah.
whenever.
What's raising your suspicions about this? Is he just is it because he stopped complaining? Musical? Is that what's tipped you off? I was like, shit, man, he's not banging on my walls anymore. He must be dead. I'm wondering what's roused your suspicion, like, because Weston thinks it might be a bad smell. You've definitely piqued my curiosity. And musical, you just missed again. You're another guy who's really big in the space as well. You've got a great following. We were obviously talking about moments that almost made us quit YouTube. Oh, horrific smell in the hall. She's old. Loads of posts piling up. She ordered COVID tests too.
Ooh, yeah,
Yeah,
she might be
that
gone,
might be
bro.
a red flag.
She
That's
might
not a
be gone.
combination that certainly breeds confidence.
Yeah, that's a bad situation.
Yeah, you might have to do a solid and maybe knock on the door. If you get no response, maybe get a wellness check.
Yep.
Because let's face it, police in England don't really have much. They've got time to kill in their hands. Let's be real. It's not like we're out there fighting crime or anything. By the sounds of it,
Yeah,
I
you might
reckon they
need to
could
do
fit
that.
that in. How you doing, Mature?
Let's see,
Horrific
nothing.
sounds like bad as well. It's not like there's a bit of a funny smell. It's like horrific smell. Yeah, that's usually a bad sign.
Yeah, that's for sure. Something ain't right. Even if the person's alive, they ain't doing well.
Yeah.
Check on them. Don't you check on them though? Don't you go in there?
Yeah, don't go kicking doors in or anything.
Yeah.
Tyno's up in the building. How we doing, bro? I haven't seen you for a while, Tyno. How you doing, my man? Tyno's my another guy who's a very big YouTuber now, or a relatively big YouTuber, doing really well. Thanks for stopping by, Ragnar. And sorry about the Norwegian comment. I fucked that one up. It was the
Spaniard. Spaniard.
To be fair, your name's Ragnar, so you know. And you did tell us you were Spanish in the last one, so that was my fuck up. My bad. Perfect time for the Ouija board stream. God damn. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, Ragnar. Much appreciated. Hopefully, we'll see you again real soon. Which scoring system do y'all like aside from the UFC's 10-point system? I'm a bit like back and forth with the 10-9 must system. Do you mean scoring 10 points in general?
Yeah.
They should make it less confusing and just be 1-0, 0-0. You know what I mean? I think we could rope in a few dumbass football fans if you did it that way.
Yeah, I don't know what
Right,
the
that's 1-0 in rounds.
I don't know what the best system is, and I don't think they do either. Obviously, the 10-9 must system is a boxing system. There's got to be another system that everybody collectively has not come to the realization of, because this ain't it.
Does somebody understand why it has to? Is it? I mean, why does boxing do 10-9? It
I
seems
don't know.
confusing for me, man. It's just like 1-0, 1-1, 2-1. There are 12 rounds. What's the fucking? What's the deal?
I don't know. I mean, I guess that maybe they wanted to gauge the amount of damage somebody took. Some sort of way, I guess. I don't know.
I'm
But
sure
that's a
there's a
guess.
reason. Part of me just thinks they should just do 15-minute time limit, 25-minute time limit, just fight. And then score the round. I think it would make things it would change the entire game. Because obviously you'd have to change your tactics. It would be like, now you can no longer win rounds. You've got to basically win a fight.
That's more realistic.
I feel like I feel like there needs to be an organization that takes that idea and runs with it. Just as like its unique selling point.
The only problem with things like that is like you still have to time box these fights in order to get so many on the card. You can't let them be running wild, and lasting way
No,
too
but that's what
long.
I'm saying. You set a time limit of 15 minutes for a free rounder, what would be a free rounder, or
And they
25
just go in
for
there and fight for they
yeah.
don't
So
even
then
go
we
around.
cut
They
out
go
all of
in
this mid-round bullshit as well. So you're automatically cutting 3 minutes off the. I mean, my maths isn't that great, but the 3 minutes for the free round fight, and then the. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I reckon fights would end more as well.
yeah. I think the grapplers will have a better advantage.
For sure, yeah. Yeah, it would go. Now, to be fair, it would go back to that, wouldn't it? Just fucking. It would go back to the Shamrock and Gracie days where they would sit in guard for half an hour and just feed each
Yeah.
other up.
But then again, you could have the refs stand them up more frequently.
I guess.
I don't
I
know.
feel like
It's possible.
I feel like a small organization should just do it and see how it goes. No, Ghost. There's no Canadians up in here. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, definitely
Why
no
do people
Canadian.
keep thinking you're Canadian? What's that all about?
I have no
We've
idea.
had that a few times.
I don't know. I've been to Canada once. It was cool. I
Is it
came back
because you're
home.
too nice and chill? Is that the issue?
I don't know. That might be it. But like,
Not much
I mean,
cussing going on.
maybe. But like, I'm unbelievably Texan.
Unbelievably Texan, like Texan Dato 11, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've talked about the Apex a bunch of times, and I've called for it to be nuked on several occasions.
Dude, I think the Apex, like them, it's just lazy. It's super lazy. I understand why they're doing it, but there's so many other venues in the United States, outside of the United States, that they could go to and like do very, very well. Yeah, Jay-Z's in Houston.
Yeah, Houston boys. Yeah, we were talking about moments where we actually brought your name into it brutally at some point. Like, we were talking about moments where we almost quit the platform. I mean, we're not talking about quitting it now. I mean, well, let's see how this stream goes.
Yeah,
You know,
you never know.
could get to the end of it and be like, "Fuck this shit. I can't take the abuse anymore."
Let's see. What did I?
Um,
What did I? Oh, I'm the last time that I thought about quitting was probably like 2 weeks ago. Because I was like, dude, I feel like I can't get no higher than this. Like, this is it. Like,
this is the
I'm
so it was the opposite. It was like I've peaked.
no, I just felt like I wasn't gonna benefit like what I want to get from this from a monetary perspective. I was like, it ain't coming, bro. But then again, then things started to happen.
It's always
It
at that
always ends up
moment
being that way.
when you get kicked in the balls when the moment of salvation comes.
Yep. Yep.
I imagine it must have been a weird one for you when Manscaped contacted you.
Bruh, that was so
Well,
wild.
Manscaped ain't contacting me.
Hey, so what's funny
I
about
would
that?
think yeah, I would be a perfect brand icon for them, considering that like I talk about balls a lot on this channel.
Well, they gave me merch for you though, to give to you. So I still have it, still in the package. But yeah, when they reached out, like what's funny about it is I jokingly said something about it probably on like the fourth video that me and CJ did. And she was like, "You gonna you really think they're gonna do that?" I was like, "I'm speaking it into existence. I'm putting it
You
out there."
izzied it into existence, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we know how that
Sure
goes.
enough. Sure enough.
Yeah, definitely subscribe to Brutally Honest MMA. Really, 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 like, bro, there's such a backlog of Brutally stuff that I'm going through. It's just awesome.
Yeah, Brutally is dope, man. I like him a
Like,
lot.
Brutally, while we're on the subject, while we just revisit that subject for a second, Brutally, is there any video that you made that you were really, really proud of, that you thought that you wish got more love? Is there one video that stands out in particular? And maybe you can get a last minute boost to it, throwing it up on here as well. Getting people. Is there one video that you really loved that you didn't think got as much love as you wish it had?
Yeah.
Brandon Allen is the white Jamal Hill. Yeah, that whole fucking crying about not being on the main event was quite funny to me.
Only difference is he'll never have a belt. It's not gonna happen.
That's true.
It's
He's
not
got
gonna
some
happen.
hard days ahead. Does He's got
Mhm.
some rough days ahead. Does Brandon Allen. The road ahead is definitely rocky. And I think Imavov is going to beat him up.
I hope Imavov beats him up. I
I
really
think
do.
his ceiling ends here. If you look at Brandon, I know Brandon Allen's been on like a 7-fight win streak, but those 7 fights are a bit iffy, and he definitely lost to Chris Curtis. And by iffy, I mean lower level competition. And he definitely lost to Chris Curtis. I had it like 4-1.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was fuming.
Yeah. Chris, even getting injured in the last round, I still think he won the fight.
Yeah, I'm with that as well. I'm all with that as well. Yeah, I had a second channel called Casual MMA Fan and made a beluga style MMA video, but they never took it off. Never took off in the algo, and tried to repost on his account and still no traction. It's weird how that goes. We were talking about that earlier. It's just like the traction stuff is so hard to gauge, man. It's like I mentioned this a little bit earlier on as well. It's like I have to say something. I mean, if you look at my YouTube video history, my most popular video is literally just a pink background with what was his name again? Oh fuck, the dude Sean O'Malley's teammate.
Let me see.
What's Kyler Phillips?
Oh yes.
It was
Why
a
I
picture
forgot.
of Kyler Phillips in a pink background and just a big letters saying "chick with a dick." Which by the way, yeah, I swear to God, was like it made up about. I'm not joking, about 12 seconds of what we were talking about in that video. The video was like what 14, 15 minutes long, I think.
Yep.
And I literally had a throwaway comment saying that he kind of looks like the bearded lady from a circus. Bruv, I got fucking cooked for that.
Yeah.
I had so many people jumping in the chat saying, "Bit ironic coming from you" and all that kind of, and that was as mild as it got. Like
Yeah. They
I
were
got
going after you.
fucking cooked in that
The
video.
entire LGBTQ community came
Just
out.
came out in force, bro. I should have released it during Pride Month, and I probably would have got 10 million views on that shit.
Probably.
That's what I should have done. I fucked
Probably
that one
so.
up.
That was so funny. Between that and some of the John Jones stuff that you thrown out there, like those, I feel like for some reason, John Jones stuff does well on your channel. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's bizarre, man. It's bizarre. The John Jones stuff does. And funnily enough, it's like we were talking about this before, like the Conor McGregor stuff and the Colby stuff that I've done was some of the worst viewed videos I've ever had.
Oh yeah, my one Kobe video, like I'll never do a Kobe video ever again.
No, I took it down. It got like 50 views, which was probably 49 more views than it deserved. But it's like, nah, it was not the one.
Was mine has 166 views.
Yeah, for you that is fucking shocking.
Wait. So Ghost ASMR asks, who wins, Leon Edwards or Prime Woodley?
Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards for me.
I think it depends on Leon's. It would come down to how Leon would want to fight it. Like Leon, I feel like Tyron Woodley's going to wait to counter what Leon's going to do. So he's going to have to counter the counter, which Leon is fully capable of doing. And if he mixes in any threat of any sort of takedown, like Yeah, he wins. He definitely wins. Prime Woodley was good, y'all. Though.
He was. Yeah,
Don't-
I'm not shitting on Prime Woodley, but like I just think Leon knows how to. He knows how to fight just that one rung above whoever he's fighting, and hopefully it's gonna be several rungs against Borlau in a couple of weeks. Because I need that to go well.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
the John Jones short of 400K like John Jones is a very good topic of discussion. I mean, we saw what I mean. I know MMA Guru was already big, but we saw what happened to his channel when
Mhm.
he made the John Jones's gay video. He literally jumped from like 120 to pretty much where he is now at like 200,000 in a space of a month and a half.
Yep. And you are right, Plymouth. Nobody cares about Kobe.
Nobody
They don't.
cares about Kobe anymore.
They don't.
Well, because like, and again, he's somebody that just doesn't move the needle in terms of like on social media or in creative spaces or anything. He just doesn't. He's not that guy. Do that French accent again. I kind of have to build up to it. Give me something that Gon would say, and I'll. My French accent is deliberately awful, and
Man,
for some reason, whenever I do a French accent, I have just this inclination to just lift my fingers up and go. "No." I can't help it.
that's what
It's just
made it
how I
funny
see
to
French
me.
people. I just imagine bad wine, or not bad wine, but just wine, cheese, a little white flag waving in the background, and then just like a,
Some
you know,
baguettes. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
I've never been. That's one place that I would want to go that I've never been. I've never been to France at all.
Yeah, neither have I, which is kind of shocking considering it's, virtually like a stone's throw away. I've
Yeah.
never um
Are
I've
you
never
able to
gone
like
there.
ride a train over there,
Yeah, you can
or
get
would
there
you
in
have to?
like musical. How long does it take to get to France from London? I think it's like 45 minutes or something, right?
What?
Yeah,
Really?
on a train. It's quick. The channel's
Wow.
like that, man. I mean, have you seen a map? It's like this long,
I've seen
this
it.
wide.
I've seen it, but it
People
don't. It
actually
don't
jump over there.
feel real to us
People
over here.
swim it.
That's true. That's true. They do.
So I don't know about Paris specifically, but I know you can get into France like real quick. You know.
Oh my goodness, dude. Matua, like he loves grappling, dude. He loves
It's a bit
grappling.
sus, to be honest. It's a little bit sus. It's more the way it's more you just way you describe the grappling. It's like, bruh,
Yeah,
it's interesting to me.
there's a certain level of eroticism in the way that he describes it from time to time.
It's like an hour and a half. That can't be right. That can't be right. Maybe from London it might be. Yeah, to Paris, I imagine it would be an hour and a half. But getting into France, I don't think is as long. Yeah, that mad gay comedians. Yeah, I'm with Torrin as well. I think because I kind of saw I used to kind of enjoy Colby. I used to dislike him greatly, and then I kind of enjoyed his whole shtick. So that cheesy grin and wearing the shitty suits and the I don't know. I kind of enjoyed it, but then like I think the Leon part was where I turned on him as well because it was that to me was like and you could see the way that Leon reacted. He was like, I think I've gone too far here, and he was literally shitting himself.
Yeah, he
And I
knew.
think that
He knew it.
affected his performance as well. He was like, "No, I've
Dang,
legitimately made him angry here."
I just looked
And he
up
just
the train tickets from London to Paris, and yeah, it says about 2 hours, and
yeah, that's wild to me.
it's relatively cheap.
Depends when you get it. I mean, it's either way. I haven't found time to go, and it's not like I said. France isn't very high on my list, but we have talked about going.
Hmm.
Like I said, we're doing a whole thing in Europe this summer where we're going to Spain and Italy and Germany, and like France didn't even come up, and we haven't been there, so fuck them, I guess.
Yeah, now,
Fuck them.
I've been in Spain before. Spain is amazing,
Yeah,
but I didn't get to do everything that I wanted to do at all. I've never been to Italy. I heard Italy was kind of racist, so um,
depends where you go. The
yeah.
thing that disappointed me about Italy, like I spent a little bit of time in Rome, and that place is graffiti to shit. It's got all like this beautiful old architecture,
Yeah.
and then it just has cockface just sprayed on and loads of just very badly drawn penises everywhere, which is a little bit of a
So,
letdown. If you're gonna go with
so
drawing a penis, like at least make it anatomically correct. You know what I mean?
I had
Go
a
all out.
I had a buddy of mine that went to Italy with his wife at the time,
Mm.
and um, he is white, she is black, and he said that when they went, um, like they got all kinds of dirty looks and people saying terrible things to them and all that. So because of the
There
interracial,
definitely there definitely is like a strong you find that in Italy most people are cool, but when they have extremists there that are real extremists. You know, from back in like those Mussolini days.
uh,
Like it is very similar to a British toilet. It's usually like a dick pic and then like somebody's like phone number is usually scrawled on the inside of some, you know, like you get like you have like an enemy and you're just like, yeah, I'm just gonna write this cunt's number and just like sit back and watch them get abused. That's usually the way to go in England. Yeah, Valencia is amazing. I've only been to. I need to get a Colombian girl pregnant. Yeah, you get right on that, sir.
yeah, I'm
That sounds like a
I'm
very good
sure there's
idea.
a bunch of them that would love it.
Yeah,
Hold on, real quick, let me re-up this boys.
I'm sure they'll appreciate that.
Oh,
Yeah, so
hold on.
we've done like I haven't been to Valencia, but I've obviously done like Barcelona and Madrid, and I probably I can't remember who it was in the chat that said that they really didn't like Barcelona in comparison. I thought I'm not really an architecture person or like a culture vulture in that way, but I was genuinely blown away by some of the. It felt like I was in fucking Willy Wonka's anus when I was in Barcelona of all the architecture, all that Gaudi influence and stuff. It was genuinely different. And obviously going to La Familia, which we've talked about once or twice on here as well, was where I was genuinely like, oh shit, this is sick, you know. Vittori loves Mussolini. Vittori comes across as quite a, I don't know, a man of the people. Maybe he is. I don't know. I can't confirm or deny that. If you could provide some evidence, that would be very helpful. It's like that here in America too. If a black man is seen with a white woman, he gets all types of dirty looks. It kind of goes like it. I haven't witnessed it so much in England or living in London, but like and I strictly have throughout my entire life, I've only ever dated one white chick, um, and there's never really been a problem with it here. But I remember going to Scotland and I was with a girl who looked like she wasn't Indian, but she looked Indian at the time. And we had like kids throwing stones at her and all kinds of shit. It was fucked up. So and that was the experience. And that's why I've always had like a very odd view of like Scotland. So that was a bit deep. Who's more likable, Izzy or Jamal Hill? It's a tough one, man. I prefer Jamal Hill, but it's a tough choice. It's like, do you prefer like greeny colored shit or more of a deepy brown colored shit? Do you know what I mean? It's how do you like your shit? It's a difficult question. I personally find Jamal Hill a bit more entertaining and slightly less cringy, but he is more of a whinge bag. So it's like a difficult question to answer.
Wait, who's more likable? Is it your Jamal? Mm. Um,
Sorry, I just
uh, I mean, I personally like both of them.
what?
I think they say things that are
End
weird,
the stream, Dave.
out of pocket. I think they say things that are weird and out of pocket. But I mean, Jamal's a sore loser. Is he? He's a sore loser too.
Drickus is a lesbian too. I like Drickus. I like Drickus. I like his personality and his fight style.
I
Um,
like how odd he is. I do like that. He is weird.
if you were to move to the United States, what state or city would you move to? That's a fucking tough question. I'll tell you where I wouldn't move to. Fucking LA. I would not move to LA. I had a few like shady experiences there. Like
Yeah,
speaking of
LA.
racism, I had a few moments there as well where you because you know, like obviously being white, like I have had racist moments in like I have had racial moments in my life, and they're quite shocking to me because I'm like, hang on a second, I'm like, do you not see the what are you doing? Why are you being racist towards me? I'm white. What did I do? You know what I mean? I don't know why I put an extra white guy voice on for that. It's like I'm white. I do like the Dave Chappelle. I could just use my own voice.
Hey, just use
Why do I
regular
have to
like
make it sound extra zesty? Hey guys, I'm. I don't know why I do it.
and do the
That's weird.
Oh man, no! Don't move to Gary, Indiana. That wouldn't. No,
Yeah, why Gary? Why Gary, Indiana? Tats like why
Mm-mm.
there?
That ain't the
Is
place to
that
go, bro.
specific for me?
Gary, Indiana is it's got a rough side to that town. It's got a very rough side to that town. That's where Michael Jackson's from and Freddie Gibbs. But yeah, no,
Interesting.
nope, don't move
I
there.
wouldn't lead with that if I was trying to get somebody to move to. It's like, well, Michael Jackson grew up here, so I don't know. The only place in LA I'd move to is Santa Monica. Yeah, because we did like the whole like we moved around LA quite a bit, and I think I was in. It wasn't Crenshaw. It was somewhere else. We went to go buy a phone. It wasn't a good idea. I'll just leave it at that. It wasn't a good idea. Yeah.
Nashville's not bad, man. Nashville's not a bad place to be.
I've heard Nashville's nice. In terms of places where I would go, I don't. It's tough, man. It's tough. I really I don't know. I'd probably New York. I'd probably live in New York.
New York is dope. State taxes are terrible. Property taxes are terrible, but
Mm.
outside of that, it's dope. Cheddar, I haven't seen Cheddar in forever.
How are we doing, Cheddar? I think you were in my last. Cheddar always peeks his head out of the. He pokes out from underneath the rock every now and then, and it's always appreciated.
Nah, I always miss him.
Yeah, I think Aaron Tatz is trying to get me murdered. It's like Gary,
Yeah.
Indiana, bro. He's trying to get me wiped out by like a crackhead. Do you prefer Cage or Kage? He's farting his ass off. I always like a good I always like a bowel movement update from everyone in the chat. It does help. Um yeah, we walked into an Indian restaurant and quickly realized we should probably drive everywhere.
Yes.
Everywhere else.
ITP
ITP
did
didn't show
show.
up. D Harvey did show up.
Yeah,
He
he
did
was here.
show up. He was here for a bit. I'm still trying to get I'm gonna try and get into by the way, we should probably post our Discord as well for people who aren't.
Yeah. Let me grab that real quick.
New York is because the thing is that I grew up in London, and like when I turned up in New York the first time, and when you step out of Grand Central Station and you look up, and it's like fuck me, like you can't see the sky with all the or virtually the sky is kind of way in yonder, and I was like shit. It was very like it was an overwhelming experience in a good way, but like it felt like London's big brother, much bigger brother. And obviously, having grown up in London at the time, it was like I used to love living in London, but New York just kind of felt like you know, it was very like, wow, there's so much going on here. And I'm
For real.
talking about if I was a single gentleman, obviously as a family, obviously because I've got a family now, I've got kids and whatnot.
Yeah. No,
I'd prefer to find somewhere in America that's like low key country,
chill.
but not like unsophisticated to the level where like you're dodging bullets on the way to go get your milk and all that kind of shit, and just
Yeah.
dealing with some fucked up assholes constantly. So I'd rather find somewhere that's very chill, but has access to places. So maybe you guys can suggest somewhere because I'm definitely going over to the States at some. I'm gonna try and get over there this year. And we've obviously
Yeah.
been talking about Miami, but I think we're gonna move there at some point. I think like it's definitely on the I think we're gonna do like another 2 years in the UK, and then we're probably gonna get over there at some point. And
I think it's the like what you had to into consideration is definitely the taxes, the state taxes,
yeah,
and find the places that don't have state tax, um, because that will eat you up. They don't have state tax in here in Texas. They don't have state tax in Florida. So there's a few places. Um, New York, I used to live there for a little while, and it was amazing. And you find ways to save money where you think that New York is expensive. You can find ways to cut corners, so it's not that bad.
Yeah, my daughter's in New York at the moment, and she absolutely loves it. Like she lives in Manhattan, and it's like I tell you, it's getting those monthly fucking getting those
Yeah,
monthly rent
she
bills ain't
live
the
in the
one. But like,
city, like, Brooklyn
but
was
no,
where
she
it was at.
absolutely loves it there, and it seems like a very nice like kind of hub to do things. You know what I mean? She's always up to this, that, and whatever. Like, there's always stuff to do. So,
Yeah. No, there's no state taxes in Delaware, but there's a lot of snow. Like that.
what is Star Citizen? Is that like a game, a video game? I'm assuming because I've heard it
Oh,
come
okay.
up in the chat a few times. I feel like it was worth a mention.
So
No
Ghost
state
ASMR.
taxes in Delaware.
Yeah. But there's no, I'm not living in
There's
Delaware.
other
It's too
issues to deal with, like state
mm,
taxes. It's not enough to pull you in now.
yeah, not enough black people too. So Ghost ASMR asks what's better, mango or pineapple?
I'm a pineapple guy. I'm not big on. I don't mind mango, but I prefer pineapple.
Mangoes are cool. And Mexico has a really good mango, so we get really good mangoes in Texas. But I'm definitely more of a pineapple person. Definitely.
Yeah, and I've heard that eating a lot of pineapple helps the ladies out. If you know what I'm saying. So there is that.
I've heard that. I've heard that. I have.
I can neither confirm or deny, but because I'm not that considerate, but I've heard that it has that effect. Sounds like one of those cheaply made app games we see in ads. I gotcha. It's like Escape from Tarkov with spaceships. That sounds fucking grim. That sounds fucking grim. Prime versus Prime, GSP versus Leon. I'd have to go with GSP.
GSP.
And I think Leon Edwards is very good, but like, yeah, GSP's on my mountain. He's on my Mount Rushmore right now. I don't think Leon's anywhere near that yet.
Yeah.
Atlanta is probably one of the blackest cities in the United States. Can you confirm or deny that, Antoine? Is that true?
Mm,
I've heard
that's
Atlanta's
true.
getting loads of bad press at the moment in the UK. Apparently, it's fucked up there in terms of the crime rate. Is that
Atlanta is
correct?
one of the. It's. I mean, that crime rate is up and down. I don't think it's like any. It's not ridiculously worse than other places, but um, I don't think it's worse than New Orleans. New Orleans crime rate is probably worse, but Atlanta is got a majorly large black population for sure. A lot of historically black colleges are there, so a lot of people go there for school and then stay there and live there.
Mm,
Um, a lot of athletes go there because there's a lot of places to buy land and build and things like that. So
yeah.
it is also, as Matu has said, one of the gayest cities, and this is also true.
That seems like a very strange mix there. It's like it's the blackest and the gayest city in America.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
both are definitely true.
Do you like Orlando? I've never been to Florida. Florida is on the like. I'm planning on going to Miami. Um, so that's the next destination because I feel like it's just everyone's been pretty much twisting my ear about this. So I feel
No,
like yeah.
I think Miami is the spot, meal. I don't know when their next event is going to be, but I think that should be like the meetup spot for us, for everybody.
People are mentioning it maybe March next year. I don't know where people are
Mm.
getting that from, but that seems to be the rumors. I was gonna make the John Jones comment, and I was like, I don't know. It felt like low hanging fruit, but I'm glad someone said it because I was
Music.
thinking it. It's the first thing that popped into my mind. It's like when is John Jones moving there? It's like no, I'll keep that to myself. I'll wait for somebody to put those two things together and just
Wait, what did Western say earlier? He said something that we might have missed. I don't know. I don't know what it was.
I can't ban musical MMA. I can't. I love him too much. I'll do it. I don't want to get a reciprocal slap from his channel because it's a great source of comfort for me. They say California Bay Area is higher than LA. Higher in what regard?
Ooh, San Francisco might be gayer than Atlanta though. San Francisco is pretty
Yeah,
gay.
San Francisco is fruity. I've been there. I can definitely speak to that. until Xi Jinping came and they cleaned it up all
Oh, yes.
quick. Yeah,
Mhm.
he's definitely got his fingers in some pies he shouldn't. That guy, that's a smart motherfucker right there. I can tell you, living in China, that guy is brutal. He is very very like cutthroat. Put it that way. Would you rather live in Belgium or New Zealand?
Well, that was nice.
Probably,
New Zealand.
I'd probably go with.
Why?
Uh,
All right.
I thought
CJ
you were
is
going to mention the
off camera.
chocolate
She said Belgium.
and the porn. Um, but like realistically, I'd probably live in Belgium because like I want to have access to the UK still. I want to be as close to the UK as possible, and New Zealand is pretty much as far away as you can get. But I've heard New Zealand's fucking incredible though.
It looks beautiful. I definitely want to go there. But yeah, you're right. It does kind of seem kind of cut off. I would need more information to know which one would be better. But
This is a fantastic question. Date night on the streams.
do you reckon
That must be
next day
it.
he goes on? He's gonna sit from that.
He's gonna have to have a very tolerant
Yeah,
missus because
because
Weston's obviously very upset because he's obviously been used for his dick for the last decade.
no, somebody
So he's
said,
gonna
"Do
need an
you
angel.
reckon his next date he goes on? He's gonna sit her in front of his phone and go around all the streams for the night." No,
Sounds like a great night to be honest.
I mean it could be, could be.
Colorado. I've never been to Denver either.
Colorado is amazing.
I figure I've got to. That's what I'm saying. I've got to move to America at some point, probably in the next 2 years, and then just bounce around because it sounds like there's. But I don't know if I can trust you fuckers to send me to the right place because I have a feeling some of you in here are slightly trying to get me killed.
Yeah, yeah, that Gary, Indiana one. Yeah, he doesn't value your life.
Thanks, Aaron. Thanks, Aaron. I'm going to remember that.
Mhm.
Musical. Did you do a gig tonight? Then I know you were doing a busking job earlier. I don't know if that was today or yesterday. But I'm only asking because I'm probably going to go back and have a gander.
Yeah,
What's the
I'm
worst food in the
curious
world?
before you get off of musical. I'm curious what all instruments you play. I feel like I don't know.
I feel like it's like
I thought it
40 at
was
this
the
point.
bass. I saw the bass, but I'm curious.
The answer is probably going to be everything. So I play everything, my G. Yeah. So what's the worst food in the world?
That we've had, or that like
Generally,
just in general.
I'm gonna speak from personal experience here. There is a I used to be quite friendly with like some Eritrean families that because I had a lot of Eritrean families around my area. I don't like their food at all.
Dude, Matu nailed it. That's what I was gonna say. Balut. Like I
What's
had it.
balut?
So I went to the Philippines, which I love the Philippines, but I did not like their
I don't
food
like
at all
Filipino food
whatsoever.
as well.
Their food is everything was questionable. Everything.
Yeah,
Love the
yeah.
people, love the place, but the food gross. And they said that the balut, like eating the balut, is like something that you have to do
Is that
when
the
you go.
embryo thing?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
yeah, I ate it, man. I got a video of it somewhere or another of me eating it. Ugh.
And then vomiting straight after. Yeah, bringing it back. Yeah, he's like it's
No,
like grand opening, grand closing. Yeah.
I I gagged, but I drank a beer and I made it. But dude, it was so nasty,
Yeah,
so nasty.
nobody could get me to. There's no blowjob in the world that's gonna get me to try that shit. Do you know what I mean? You'd have to really go to great lengths to get me to chug one of those. There's no way. Yeah, haggis is pretty grim as well. Haggis is pretty grim.
Wait, somebody said what haggis was.
It's sheep stomach,
No, why are
and
we
it's
doing
literally the stomach, and then whatever's in, and then they stuff it with shit. That's my understanding of it.
that? Ugh, no, no.
I'm
That's
not eating
nasty.
Filipino neither. Yeah, Filipino food is straight up nasty. It's not like it's like this their version of stuff. So for example, pancit, yeah, is kind of like what chow mein would be if you left it out in the sun for like a week and a half.
And sometimes they do.
That would explain it. Shit's
It's not
gross.
good. It's not good. So musical
Yeah,
plays
Rigo does
guitar,
give up
bass,
a bit of
drums,
Pied Piper
piano,
vibes.
and the prayer mat.
uh, Haggis is incredible. I don't know. To be honest, yeah, I've never eaten haggis, but just in terms of what it is, I'm that kind of person, man. If like once you've don't, if you want me to try something, don't describe where it came from first, or don't describe what it is. Just go, here you go, bro, and then I'm more likely to get involved. It's like with Chinese frog.
Chinese frog.
Chinese frog is fucking incredible.
I've never heard of this.
It's so good, man. It's so good. Um, it's
Yeah,
amazing.
it does. CJ said that sounds like a yoga pose.
It does. It does have that element to it. No, but they're amazing. Like, the first date I went on with the mother of my child, we went to a frog place, and she didn't tell me what it was.
Like that's just what they do is do frog.
Now the thing is, China has a really weird reputation for having like freaky stuff. You know, they say they eat bugs and all that. I've never seen any of that there. I imagine if you go to like very small towns, they've got like scorpions or whatever and that kind of shit. But I didn't see any of that. I didn't see like scorpions or snakes or any shit like that. But there
What?
is penguin meat.
Why would you? Who's killing penguins?
Some
That's messed up.
tell you what, shark
Ragnar would be. He
on
would
the
have been
on the
so
on
upset.
the shark soup is kind of good.
Shark soup.
Yeah, I've had shark. It's quite nice.
That sounds like a interesting meal. Shark soup.
Squirrel and skunk meat.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. Redneck still roadkill.
Why do rednecks have to be letting white people down? It's just it is what it is. What do you guys think about Dan Hooker and Gamrot? Why not? I guess it's kind of
Oh,
harsh on Gamrot. Like I know a lot of people hate Gamrot. I quite like him, and he should be getting a title shot ahead of Arman Sarukian. I'm still gonna die on that hill. So the fact that they're sticking him in there with Dan Hooker is a bit fucked up to me. But
yeah. It is kind of messed up.
whatever.
But he's got to fight somebody at this point, and everybody else that's right below him are either injured or coming off of other losses.
Yeah.
Why? Why do you want to track grasshoppers?
I've heard they're very good for like what is it, protein or whatever.
Crickets. I've heard that.
Mm.
I'm still not eating it, but I've heard that. Matter of fact, I want to say I was in the Philippines when I saw this. Like they sold it at a convenience store. It was just a bag of crickets. Like
Were
yeah,
they
it was like
alive?
peanuts, cashews, crickets. Like yeah. Yeah, no, they weren't
Yeah,
alive.
because
They were
those
dead.
go together.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, of
like it was
course they
like
do.
a trail mix of insects and
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good with that. Most
nasty.
exotic things. I love how see Saturday's getting big on YouTube now. He's like, he's now speaking about himself in the third person. That's usually when you know you've got a little bit of you know what
Most
I mean?
exotic thing
It's like the
Saturday
most
ever
exotic
ate.
thing that Saturday ate. I've had swordfish.
Swordfish.
Nah,
I've heard of that. I've heard of people eating that. I haven't
yeah,
eaten
all
that
right.
though.
Yeah, Gaethje probably would have seen that as a significant step down if they gave him Hooker. I think that's too much. Gaethje's main event title. I think Hooker's not worth the trouble, in my opinion, because Hooker's either going to come out and give you the war of your life, or you're just going to beat him up in 20 seconds. There seems to be a very weird thing with him.
Like he's an improved James Vick.
Yeah, yeah, a bit like that. Poor James Vick. Just
I
made me
hope he's
remind me.
alive. I've not seen him since that.
He could be dead. To be fair, they could be covering that up.
It was so bad.
They could be
It was
covering that
such
up.
an awful KO.
It was terrible. Yeah, I thought Fake Saturday had a new Fake Saturday. Fuck. Yeah, Saturday with the new profile. I thought something had changed about you.
Man, I just love his name, man. Saturday the 14th. That's dope.
It was a dope name, yeah.
Fury FC and LFA are on.
Yeah, apparently PFL was on earlier as well.
Nobody cares about that.
It was in Middle East apparently.
I didn't even know they were still in business.
Good point. Good point. Well made. Those fuckers need to market better.
Dude, they're terrible.
They are terrible.
I applied to work there. I tried to
What,
help
the
them out.
Middle East?
No, for PFL, just in general.
Oh, right,
Like
right.
to work like in their marketing department. But they
They
didn't
did you a
hit me
favor.
back. I was like,
Yeah.
all right. It was gonna be a tough road anyway. So
We've done more marketing for PFL on our channels than they've done themselves. I've tried to help them so much, and it's just no love whatsoever.
is there more?
Dream is on as well.
Is there more? Huh?
It might be a good time to watch some like
Yep.
other organizations right now because this
Especially
weekend
LFA
they've really hit.
and um what do you say, Fury? Yeah, those would be good ones to watch. Hold on real
Fury's
quick.
usually got some decent bangers on there. Like they got a few dudes. If LeBron James had MMA, how would he do? Very badly. Very badly. I don't get the whole LeBron James thing. I'll be honest with you. I don't understand it. The guy's person that he's corny as fuck. And I mean, I know he's a very good basketball player, but I don't think he's like, I don't know, man. I've never been a huge LeBron James guy. Do you watch The Weasel? Sorry, I know Torrin, you brought this up before. Yeah, I don't watch The Weasel, but I get it. I get the value of it. I fully do. Brutally, I was hoping you were going to do a fucking fight companion tomorrow so I could jump on yours and make snarky comments throughout the entire thing because I'm fucking not doing one. There's no way. How you doing, Angie? Good to have you here. You still hungover? If LeBron James did MMA, everyone is dead. Fuck no. Yeah, no, brutally. I was hoping we could peer pressure you into doing one. Because I absolutely cannot. Oh, you did it. You did it, Aaron Tatsmus. But I think musicals just fucked you there, man. How many times can you change your name now on YouTube? I think there's like a limit to, or maybe that was back in the day. You can only change your name like once or twice, which is why I'm very reluctant to change my name to Bad Math MMA, which people keep insisting that I do for some reason. I'm laying low on streaming until I've cleared up my online identity a bit. Yeah, bruv, watch-alongs are the most brutal experience for me. Like, I fucking hate them. Like, I can comfortably sit here, as I have been doing for the last month or so, and just talk to people for 3 hours on end, no trouble. It just moves along. But when I'm trying to watch a very shitty card, get drunk, and talk to people at the same time, it's rough, man. 6 hours of it's really rough. I can't do it. It's like we did like the Masvidal and Diaz card. I kind of did it inadvertently because I was going to go on live anyway, and then people kind of pressured me into staying on for the full 6 hours. And man, I was dying on that stream. It was rough. It was rough. Real rough. So yeah,
What's up, Angie? What's up?
I don't trust Jesse on fire not trying to dox me. You need to keep that beef alive. You need to pursue it to the bitter end.
Has he responded to anything? To Brutally?
I'm pretty sure he's replied. He's responded to a video you made before, right? Brutally. That guy makes me very uncomfortable. I've never known somebody who's tried to force himself into the MMA space with the same vigor as that sloppy cunt. I feel like he forced his way into this position, and fair play to him. But I hate everything he says.
Man, you know, when I was like studying, like looking at other YouTubers to see like, well, what are they doing? You know, like before I even made a video, he was one of the people I looked at, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to do anything he's doing.
I did not hear about this. Guru reading out Jesse's DMs to him. I wouldn't mind. I love me a little bit of YouTube drama. Because I know they were in contact for a bit because they were on the verge of like doing they were going to do like a joint pod, right? And then I think Guru came to his senses and was like, this would be a very bad idea. There was probably some kind of disagreement about how like monetization and stuff would go and all of that.
Oh,
Because they were definitely on the because they like Guru went as far as announcing it was going to happen,
wow.
and then they just like backtracked. It basically ended as quick as it started. They like announced it on a Monday, and then by like Tuesday, it was dead in the water. Do you think Tracy Cortez grew up spoiled? Can you add more context to that? I'll DM you the link if you want to watch on stream. It's like 3 minutes long. That would be sweet. Are you good with doing that as well, Jax? We can
Yeah,
throw this on.
yeah, for sure.
Just promise me
The-
there's nobody. I have to say this as a disclaimer. Just want to make sure like nobody whips their dick out at any point, or you know what I'm saying.
yeah, please don't do that.
Just like I said, when I inevitably get kicked off
Oh
this
no.
platform, I want for it to be fully worth it.
D Harv, I'm Jax from Making the Walk, FYI.
Yeah, like 3 minutes. Yeah, that's what did I miss? It's like I'm not being
No,
racist. I swear I'm not. What did I miss?
nah, musical messing with him. He's hilarious.
Because she left Brian Ortega, she left the man T City. I don't think she did the leaving, to be honest.
Doesn't look like it because boy, he rebounded real quick. If that was the case,
Rebounded real quick. But Brian Ortega is one of those ones who you can tell is like he's the kind of like sweet boy dick slinger. Do you know what I mean? He's got that sweet boy vibe. He doesn't lay it down. He doesn't lay the pipe down hard. That's all I'm gonna say. He's more of a
appreciate
roses and poetry type approach, I think. Or a ref. He could be a ref.
Herb Dean could have. My dreads are
Be a
better
ref.
than his though.
I'm not a big tuna guy, Cheddarhead, to be honest. I'm not a big fan of tuna. It's a low meat in my view. I've come up in the world. I don't eat anything out of a can anymore. Gives me bad
I
flashbacks to the old
I
days.
will make a nice tuna fish sandwich from time to time. It was delicious. I enjoy it.
You can't be racist. You're just a bigot. The thing is, yeah, musicals very. Yeah. Wait, hang on. Tracy Cortez. We've had the Tracy Cortez thing has come up a bit in live streams. I can't decide if she's hot or not. I tend to change day to day.
I think she is.
I mean, I'm not. Again, this isn't a debate of would I or wouldn't I, because I definitely would. But it's more like I don't know. Have you tried a jerk chicken? I have. Yes, I have.
It's delicious. CJ said that Tracy Cortez is actually the only reason she's watching the card this weekend. That's how good she looks. So that settles it.
Joff has threatened to destroy people so many times, issued me death threats. He seems like he's
Death
got his
threats?
white. He seems like a very fucking odd individual, to be honest. Like he looks like somebody who's got a very short fuse and is a bit autistic as well. I'm gonna throw that out there. I know I call a lot of people autistic on this channel, but our Guru, I've just got your link. Guru the musical. Hang on a sec. Hang on, I'm gonna throw this on. You obviously don't mind me playing your you don't obviously mind me playing your video on stream, I'm assuming. Seeing as you're the one who's posted it to me. Hang on a sec. I'm not sure how good the sound is going to be, so forgive me because I'm going to have to direct my microphone to it because I don't know how to direct it into the chat the normal way. But hang on a second. Let me just share this right about now.
Ooh.
Also, I'm going to post I'll post the link to this in the chat as well, just so people can have a look at it for themselves. Give me a
There's
second.
some pineapple right there.
Be able to translate Scouse to speak for us American audiences. I'll understand it fully. So if he says something extremely Scouse, I will translate it if I notice that he's definitely gone a bit too. You know what I'm saying? You think Jesse on Fire's closet gay? No, but he messaged me on some really weird vibes a couple of days ago. So he's been complaining about these bots going after his channel, and I'm not behind that in any way, Jesse. But he sent me a long message, talking about the bots, and I didn't read it because I guess I just woke up and saw it, and when I'm half asleep and I see a long message, I just sort of forget about it. And then he messaged saying about these bots. Jesse messaged me saying, if it ends up being a tech-savvy fighter, that's the only scenario where I'll be happy this happened in terms of who is botting him. And then he said, I'll eat them alive publicly. Any other scenario, revenge has to be quiet. This is what he was messaging me. Any other scenario, revenge has to be quiet. This is what he said. So he's saying, if it's not a top-level fighter that's botting my channel, any other scenario, revenge has to be quiet. And then he said...
That's a weird thing to say.
No, I just want to tell you what he said because it's really weird. I thought it was really weird to me. Then he said, after saying any other scenario, revenge has to be quiet, he said, did you ever figure out who swatted you? That shit's so fucked up. So I just said, yeah, I didn't send bots to your channel, bud. And no, I didn't.
Fuck's sake.
He said, so after saying any other scenario, revenge has to be quiet, he then messaged saying, did you ever figure out who swatted you? That shit's so fucked up. Which is kind of like, I took that to be like, he's insinuating
that's definitely a vague threat.
Me. Anyone else? I don't know. I don't think he did, but like, I took that to mean that he was insinuating. Jesse, I saw that and thought, this fucking guy's saying that he swatted me right now. Swatted me right now? What is that? So I was kind of confused by that message, Jesse, but I support you, dude. You're doing your thing. You're hustling. But I'm not sending bots to your channel. Just to clear that up once and for all. I ain't botting your channel. If I was going to bot anyone, it'd be like Ariel, you know what I mean? But I didn't even do anything like that. So I would never just randomly bot raid Jesse on Fire's channel. Just, there you go. There's the official denial of the accusation.
All right. Okay. Well, that's interesting. That's interesting. I don't know what to make of all that. I mean, it seems pretty obvious to me. It seems pretty obvious to me that there's something shady going on there. He seems like he's definitely got some rage issues for sure. He seems like the kind of person of like, you know what, breakfast, like if his wife brings the wrong eggs, he fucking loses his shit. Do you know what I mean? He seems like that kind of fella.
Yeah, he does. He does. I don't know. I mean, why would Guru do something like that? Like, for what? What's the benefit?
I'm assuming that was his. I mean, it seems innocent enough to me, but like, I suppose if you're going to send messages like that, you have to get what you're getting. Do you know what I mean? I find that I don't think Guru ever does anything personally to anyone. I just think his channel, his fucked up community do that for him.
Yeah.
Did you hear that? Guru did a raid on Dougie the other day.
Really?
Yeah, he sanctioned a raid on Dougie, which was cool.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, he was mentioning it this morning in his live, which I thought was pretty sweet.
Oh, Dougie was?
Yeah.
He goes live at weird times for me.
Yeah, I happened to catch him this morning because he was obviously streaming in the evening, which he doesn't usually do his time, but it's pretty cool. Also, interesting fact: Jesse Ginger Hair has 3 daughters. None are ginger. That's an interesting one as well. I mean, to be fair, like I've got ginger people in my family that don't have either parent as ginger, so I don't know. I don't know how that exactly works genetically, but I'd certainly be questioning. I'd be wondering about that a little bit. 0 out of 3 is a bit suspicious. Jesse implied I was botting him on his life. He seems to be accusing. He seems to be throwing that net out in terms of the botting, isn't he? He's just like brutally comes in. And he's like, "It was you cunt." And then Musical stops by and he's like, "Bro, I heard you've been botting me."
Does he? I don't even know that. Does Jesse do live streams? I've never even. I don't think I follow him at all. So I don't know what that man does.
Oh, so it was a cheddar head. It was really a cheddar head raid. I thought it was a bit interesting. Like, yeah. No, that's sweet though. That's a nice little boost to get.
Mm-hmm.
No real man exposes a conversation he had with another man. To me, that's kind of some kind of sucker stuff. I do get that as well. Like, I don't subscribe to that as well. Like, certainly, like posting people, like this is what I'm saying. If you're a certain age, and some of us are a certain age in here, that's tantamount to like getting your shit kicked in, like sharing like messages to people and like
Yeah.
that is definitely from a different generation.
Yeah.
Because
No,
everyone
that's
seems to do that all the time now. You get like celebrities do it to each other all the time, and it's entered that mainstream culture of like that's an okay thing to do.
and it's not like, people in dang, it's about to be old what I'm about to say, but like people in my generation, like that's gay. That's just gay. Don't do that. Like
It's snitching. It's the whole snitching thing, isn't it? It's our generation is very anti-snitching, whereas like it seems to be the opposite now.
yeah.
It's like I've seen it in the young generation as well. Because obviously I used to be a teacher,
Mhm.
and like literally friends will snitch on friends, and then you'll see them playing in the playground like 20 minutes later. It's like it wouldn't go down like that in my day.
No, it's not happening
That's
like
an
that.
enemy for life right there.
Yeah.
Once the snitching starts.
That's
Musical was
something.
gay before Grey. Was that supposed to be Grey before? Was that deliberate? Yeah. Was that? I don't know.
So that's something that females do. I mean, some females, yeah. So it's more of their trait than ours.
Yeah, that felt like it came out of the blue there. That jibe.
Wait. You see what Cold Art Maker said? He said, "Imagine being in a pool party with Tracy Cortez, Pollyanna Vienna, and Diddy." No, no, I'm not interested.
It's like it started out so well.
And then it ended
Yeah, then it just went
horribly.
off a cliff.
You got to get dragged down a hall.
Guru does leak a lot of DMs. I've tried to say not to in chat, but it's too busy to be seen. It's kind of out there, isn't it? It's kind of out there that it's because it's not the first time he's done that. Yeah, personally for me, that's not really the like I said, it's not that's kind of off brand for our generation. But Guru is like people forget. Yeah, Guru is pretty young as well.
Yeah.
Like he's like what? I mean, he's been long enough in the game now to not do stuff like that. But I guess I'm trying to offer him a ready-made excuse. There's no excuse for doing that, and he doesn't need to do that at his level now.
No, he doesn't.
There's no need to do that on any level really. But it just seems kind of weak sauce to me to do stuff like that. I don't know.
Super weak.
Super weak for sure.
Hey, we were just talking about you.
Yeah, we were just talking about you, Dougie. Dougie, while you're here, you can share a moment where you almost quit on YouTube as well. Seeing as you're another dude in the space who's doing his thing hardcore on YouTube. We were talking about your Guru raid just a minute ago, which is how Guru's name came up.
Mhm.
Well, part of the reason. Yeah, so was there a moment where you almost quit YouTube and just packed it all in? And what kept you going? 25 in here, 17 like. The thing is, yeah, I never expect a like to people in here ratio because I talking a lot of bullshit. Really, I'm not sure it's deserved.
It helps, but some people jump in the chat and they just like, just start listening and participating, and they forget about the like. So it happens. It's all good.
I always forget to remind people to like and subscribe, which is why I've got it on the bottom. But then a lot of people don't read, so it's like I suspect we have a few in our community that aren't biggest readers. So I think leaking DMs is fine as long as it's not your circle. It's a fine line, though, isn't it?
Nah, I'm not gonna.
It's a fine line.
No, I'm not gonna do it.
Are you saying this brutally because you've done this in the past? Is this what we're leading up to? Oh, it's kind of all right. Like, there are circumstances where it's okay to do.
Yeah, to each your own. But like, that's just not. That ain't me. You send something to me, you send it to me, not to everybody. So
Yeah, I think that's the whole nature of the DM thing, isn't it? It's like just keep that shit private
mhm.
for sure. It seems that the guitar was found safe and sound, and it's been rightfully returned to its owner. So it's a nice feel good story. That's something a female would do. Expose a DM. No real man moves like that. Yeah, I think we kind of mostly agree on that. What would you do if you sat next to Leon Edwards and Conor McGregor at the bus?
It would be very odd. Why would they be getting on the bus? But
That'd be a weird situation. This is me and my girl's third monetized channel. The first one took us 3 years to build. We were never going to quit because it's making money online with an audience, or to be a drywaller forever. I can understand the motivation behind that. I thought you loved your job. Not sure if I have. I don't think I have, but DMs are receipts when cunts expose themselves. Yeah, I mean, it depends on what the person's done first, I guess. There may be situations where I can kind of like understand why, especially if somebody goes after you and they're trying to ruin your reputation. And then the only way you can do to kind of salvage it or to
I
prove
can
that you're in
understand
the
that.
right is to leak them. I can get it in that situation, but kind of leaking them unprompted to me is a little bit of a bitch move, in my view. Like, I don't know.
No, I agree with that.
I'm sure Jesse's fired a few shots that were unnecessary as well. So
Yeah, maybe they feel like they, like you needed to. But in most cases, like if my issue is with you, like I don't even need to bring everybody else in on it. I'm gonna address my issue with you directly, preferably in
yeah,
person.
we've seen that a lot with like the YouTube drama that we've seen around here as well. You know, with stuff like with people with the Rigo situation and all that. It's like it's not something that's like, I mean, it's amusing, don't get me wrong, but it's like it just seems to be a bit messy for my taste. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the way I'd put that. Dougie, is that the reason the wall behind you in your vids is always super smooth?
He's a professional. That's why.
Has Jordan Levitt got a fight scheduled? Feels like we haven't seen him in a minute. What was his last fight? Did he?
I feel like he won his last fight. I remember him grappling at Karate Combat or something like that. But
So can fighters in the UFC fight in karate combat with immunity despite their contract stuff?
I
Is
think
it
he
seen
can
as like a
grapple.
different
But
thing?
I
You
think
can
they can
grapple,
grapple
right?
there. Yeah, it was grappling. Oh, his last fight was against Chase Hooper. But that was November of last year.
A very zesty fight, if I may say so myself.
There's a lot of zest. A lot of
Those
zest
two
in there.
fighting makes all the sense in the world. It's like the two guys who, like, you know, when they come out and when they were like, "Yeah, I'm married," and we're like, "Yeah, we know." Woman,
To
you
each
got
other?
kids?
Oh
What?
no. Okay.
Yeah, those and so those two fighting makes all the sense in the world. We're not going to get into the whole Rigo thing again. It's all out there. Like we literally, the last live stream I did, we literally spent what, an hour and a half delving into that shit, and I felt quite cheap and dirty afterwards. Like I felt like I just, you know that walk you take when you leave the red light district, and you thought it was a good idea when you went in. It felt like that. It was like that.
Weston said Dougie's job definitely gives him sick abs. Big benefit.
Would you rather talk to a person you don't like for an hour a day or delete your YouTube channel? That's a tough question because I've got very little tolerance for bullshit conversations in person that I don't want to be a part of. I'm at that age now, yeah. You know where you'd usually sit around and listen to the person waffle on. I'm way too old for that shit now. I just tell people to shut the fuck up or I'll walk away. So I don't know if I could tolerate knowing I'd have to go through an hour of that every day.
I
I
talked
don't
to
know.
them for an hour. I put too much work into this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. I'd have to
Quite
suffer
sad that
for
I had
that
to
hour.
think about it. It should be talk to the person for an hour, but I'm not a very patient person, to be honest. I've got very little room in my life for bullshit these days.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It would. I'd definitely do the talking for an hour thing. Like I said, we're like a year and a half into this now, and I feel like I've put some work in. Not an awful lot, but some.
Yeah.
By the way, I need. By the way, musical. While you're here, I need to. I need to DM you about something as well. I'm gonna do exactly what I said we shouldn't. I kind of need something from you as well before I forget. I'll DM you about it later when I get off. There's a small favor I need to ask of you. I can't see what Cold Art Maker's putting up there because in my
Oh, it's the flags.
I can't see them properly in Restream. I guess I have no sympathy for Jesse Lee, that motherfucker, all day long. The thing is, I know with you and him, it's very. I think if he got hit by a bus tomorrow, I think you'd have very little sympathy for him. He doxes people, threatens people, he lies, fakes content, supports child grooming.
Child grooming.
Yeah, I didn't hear about this. The thing is, he is a fucking liar. I know that much, and he is like he seems like somebody who's like. I find, in order to summarize Jesse as a person, for me, it's like you just have to look at his logo and then look at him, and there's a little bit of kind of a disconnect there. That's all I'll say. I think he sees himself as like a fucking Chad, like a gym Chad, and I don't really see him that way.
Man, his last video.
No, I swear to your heart's content. It was all good.
Oh,
What was his last video?
His last video, he said his charity is a scam. He's talking about Dustin Poirier. Like, dude.
Oh, right.
So he's just super clickbaity, and
then he'll probably go on to say that it isn't a cunt.
Yeah, no, I don't. Just from a design aspect, I didn't really like how everything was set up. But I mean, somebody likes him. He's got 182,000 subs, but it's
Joff had some unique comments about Bad Barbie. Interesting. No, I don't know the Jesse, the protector of the P-word arc. I've not heard this at all. There's two things I don't tolerate in this channel. It's certain issues with minors and like I said, doxing / swatting. Those are the only two things that are kind of a no-go in this channel, pretty much. I don't mean in terms of people mentioning it. I mean in terms of people, elevating that shit. I'll put it that way. Yeah. What have we fucking done, Paradox? Prime versus Prime, Ilya Tapura versus BJ Penn. Tough one.
I'm taking
I don't think we've seen enough of Ilya to really make a informed
And yeah, Ilya not in his prime yet, so it's hard to say. But as of now, I'm taking BJ.
God damn, man, nearly offered up his own children up to Pat. Jesse's a very, like I said, it's the in the know thing, and I don't like him name dropping every opportunity he gets as well. It's like I was DMing Chael the other day, and he was about, and I was like, well, Chael and you seem like a perfect pairing for kind of hanging out, just like people who just gloss and bullshit constantly and lie. And I love Chael. Chael can get away with it because it's Chael.
Yeah.
You can't be Jesse on fire and be lying about everything. It's fucking.
I was just about to ask you about that, about Chael in general. Like your thoughts on Chael. Do you watch Chael?
No, I don't. And again, it's more just I find his way of talking about things to be, how he has his legs crossed and he's like, he comes across as like very patronizing and sort of, I don't know. I enjoy Chael as a personality. I feel like I've got nothing against Chael as like a person, so to speak. And obviously what he did for MMA is huge. Like that can never be discounted, but he's just a bullshitter now. The bullshit just leaks too much more into it, too much more into his stuff now. He just straight up lies. Like he'll say in front of people, like, I've, had DMs with this person, and then they'll literally be like, no, you didn't. Like, we haven't spoken about. Like, he'll lie in front of the people, expecting to get backed up, and they're like, nah, bro, that's never a thing. It's weird.
Hmm.
Let me put it this way: he's a strange one. But then when Jesse's doing the same thing, it's like, Jesse, you're not that guy. Like, you don't have a history of things where we can say, oh well, at least you brought us this, so it's okay for you to do this.
Yeah. I used to be more on the chat. Like I watched a lot of his stuff. But yeah, lately it's just been like his subject matter. It's changed, and it's kind of more looking for scandalous type stuff, which like I'm not with that.
I've recently unsubbed to Cho. He goes over so much dumb shit now. Yeah, I've never been subscribed to him. I did occasionally watch the odd video that, but like I said, I can't do it anymore.
Yeah. I used to watch it all the time though. I used to watch him all the time when he was talking more about the fights themselves. And
Wait, sorry, what did I miss there? There's also Jesse insinuated a wife swap with MMA hoes. Oh, why does that not surprise me though? That doesn't surprise me. Or like, what was the level of the What was the level of the insinuation?
yeah,
That's what I'd be interested to know. Like, did he just straight come out and say it, or was it like, I'd be interested to see how that was delivered. I'm asking for a friend. What's up with all the Christmas changing names going on here? Is there something I'm missing?
I don't know. I think it's something that Paradox said earlier, but
that's a fair point as well from Dougie. It was as much of a sparring match as that was. It was much better seeing him getting a back and forth from a fighting point of view. It seems to be when he's more in his element.
True.
You tend to see like remnants of the old Chell when he's in a combat situation, which is always nice to go back to.
Dang, 2 years ago? It wasn't that long ago, but
God damn. Well, I guess Christmas is starting earlier and earlier every year. We might as well get it started in fucking July. Why the hell
I've
not?
already started asking my kids what they want because I need to know now.
Start getting the budget in order, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, hold on.
Anyone fancy is this like a half Christmas celebration like they used to do in what was it, that show, the Workaholics, that kind of situation? Musical sausage fingers hit send too early. Yeah, like I said, this whole YouTube yeah, definitely check out musicals. I would recommend the Oscar Willis video as a first watch, and subscribe to Brutally Honest as well. The boys. Yeah, the bot thing is weird, man, on YouTube. Again, I don't really fully understand it, but it seems to be something that's getting people very upset these days. Xmas Spirit is what has brought this on? Are you hanging stockings on the wall? I don't even know what the fuck's going on, to be honest. It's halftime Christmas. I thought it might be that. I thought that might have something to do with it. That was a really funny episode, by the way. For any Workaholics fans out there. Paradox the Chadmus. I would probably tell you I'm actually one of Jesse's IA bots sent to infiltrate all of your channels. Paradox style. Are you waiting for Santa to call me? Like, how would Santa turn up at the half-year Christmas point? Like, what would it be? Like, how would that work? The Chadmus is cold. Man, you guys are on something today. I'm not adding fucking Christmas into my name, I'll tell you that much. What is going on? Yeah, there's that. Like I feel like I was really chuffed when I came across Musical and Brutally's channels later on in life. Like it's only been in the last like 6 months to a year. Because there's so much backlog to go through, man. So if you're somebody in who hasn't subscribed to those two, I would highly recommend you do that. Do yourself a favor. Santa Day the 14th. That's quite a good one. How many times can you change your name on YouTube though before they cut that off? I'm stoned as fuck binge watching musical videos. It does feel like the perfect combination to blaze to. I might need to start getting back on it. Bar humbug MMA. That does kind of suit my personality, to be honest. Put a Santa hat on. I wish I had one of those handy. Maybe if I'd been given some prior warning. You think I just have Santa hats just lying around? Do you think I'm that kind of guy? You guys just assume I've got some kind of like costume full of like some closet full of costumes while I'm hiding in there, right? Lovely, thank you, love you, bye. Is it true that in the UK people have ski masks and knives? It depends on the context. Bumbug MMA. You have to wait before changing it again for a week or two, I think. I assume that. I wouldn't want to slow down all of the MILFs asking me maths advice in the in my DMs. I assumed you had a ski mask and a machete. Chat, we're gonna do this for a whole month. Is it going to be one of those things here where you're going to try for the next few days to just peer pressure me into this and I'll tell you to go suck one? I bet I end up fucking doing it as well. I'm so weak. Bad MMA Scrooge. Nah, that one doesn't work for me. If you can suggest something that really tickles my balls here, yeah, I might do it. Do you mean Mr. Bean? I have a Mr. Bean style room where I walk into it and it comes out in a different outfit. Oh, Mr. Ben. Do you mean that old cartoon back in the day? Mr. Ben, that's a throwback. Where he goes into his cartoon, where he takes mushrooms and goes into his fucking closet and then transforms into a different world. If that wasn't an advert for fucking streams, I don't know what is. Or like a sly dig at a fucking trip. I remember Mr. Ben. I used to play a lot of Mr. Ben when I was working. For some reason, it came up. For some reason, Chinese kids were really into it. They were like, "Yeah, man, play Mr. Ben." That sounded really bad. But when I say Chinese kids, I mean I was in a classroom. I was a teacher in a classroom. Just clarify that.
And you were playing with Mr. Ben?
No. Let me rephrase that. They suggested Mr. Ben, not Mr. Bean. That's a different dude. Mr. Ben. I thought he was talking about Mr. Ben as well. And when he said the thing about going into his closet and changing into different costumes, that's when I was like, oh, Mr. Ben. That was old. So that cartoon is old as fuck. And bro, if you ever watch a Mr. Ben cartoon, the way that they run, man, I used to sometimes play that on repeat and the whole classroom would be fucking dying. The legs would, because it was a proper old school cartoon, and when they'd go across the screen, the legs would properly be like that. It looked hilarious. Shout out to Mr. Ben. No, it's not Mr. Bean, Paradox. It's Mr. Ben. It's literally Mr. Ben is the correct one.
Oh, I see it now.
Mr. Ben is proper old school. Do you want to share it? Just so we can explain to people what's going on. How you doing, Tyner? Oh, Tyner, you're up late tonight, bro. You must be working on something, yeah? I'm looking forward to tomorrow's update. There's been very little moves in the transfer front. I need something to happen with my club. I'm getting a bit nervous. I don't want to get too late into the summer. We had Pee Wee. I've heard of Pee Wee. Now, Mr. Ben is the GOAT. He is the GOAT. If you want to share that, I'll throw that up there. And he had a very British voice.
Let's see.
1975. It looks like it was the first cartoon ever made, bro. It looked like, 1913. The very first cartoon ever made.
I think that's it. I think that's
Let me see if I can. Let me try and whip this up. This is the dude. This is the dude. I'll play it for a couple of seconds because let's face it, I don't want to get kicked off here again. But I'm not going to play any pirate. Yes, when he. So basically, Mr. Ben goes into his closet every episode and he gets transformed to a new world. So he'll go into like it's not a closet. It's I'm going down to the costume shop. And then he'd go down there for some. I don't know what a grown ass man is going to a fucking costume shop every day, but like. And he'd be like, "Ooh, you've got a spaceman suit," and then he'd put the spaceman suit and go into the closet, and then he'd be transferred or transformed into some environment where he'd be a spaceman or a pirate or a fucking. There was other ones as well. The spaceman one was really funny to me because it was the one where they did the legs running thing. It was fucking hilarious. But yeah, that's Mr. Ben. And this is what the guy looks like. Hang on, I'll just pop to. So you can see what the cartoon style's like.
yeah.
It's very like, and there's the old costume designer, the old goat. Where is he? Where's the costume guy? It's this dude there with the. So he'd go to this costume shop. So obviously there's the pirate outfit.
Yeah.
Why does he see the way he's spinning? You see that spinning? You see this?
I
This is
guess
what I'm
he's-
talking about. This
yeah.
kind of stuff was just a norm.
Okay, so I
You
see
can
the
imagine what the
animation
running's
style.
like. Anyway, I think I've got into that enough.
I have never heard of that. That's crazy.
What type of British nightmare is this shit? Don't talk shit about. Let's not start getting some Aussie cartoons up, all right, mate? Let's not make a war out of this. You don't want to go Aussie for Brit, bro. You're gonna get fucking eaten alive in here. Let me come with that fucking Aussie rhetoric in here, bro. Let me dissing my British staples. You can't.
D Harv said, he said, don't listen to him, Jackson. These guys eat beans for breakfast. Oh, man.
No, I appreciate you, Tyler, and I love your channel as well. If anyone's just a fan of good content in general, get your asses over to Tino AB with the tune. It's fucking great, always great. It's good for just general news, especially if you're a Newcastle fan, you get double delight. But like, it's a fun channel to be in anyway. And I really appreciate the shout out there and the fact that you enjoy what we do because I'm glad someone does. I appreciate
The only
it.
reason I know anything that's going on. Otherwise, I have no idea.
Did speaking of Ben Davis here, did he have his latest boxing fight? Ben Davis is another prick on Twitter that I just can't stand. I thought Mr. Ben made curries. He does. He does make curries as well. It's true. It could be the same Mr. Ben for all we know. I mean, it makes there could be a link there. Mate, Mr. Squiggle. What the fuck is Mr. Get the fuck out of here with Mr. Squiggle.
Mr. Squiggle.
The fuck is that? You've already lost before you've even started, mate. It was Uncle Ben. That's it. What is Uncle Ben? Is Uncle Ben gone under? Yeah, that would be a shame. I mean, I never read any of it, but I enjoyed the adverts.
Well, they figured out that between Uncle Ben and Aunt Jemima, they were like, nah, we can't do that, y'all. Like, nah, we can't do that. That's going too far. We gotta take those off. So,
by the way, did you get a chance to post a Discord in the stream? If somebody could post a Discord in, that would be real. I should really just have it in the description every time we make a video. That would be way more useful. But
let me see.
Not gonna lie. Are they playing tomorrow or is it Sunday? I swear they're playing on Sunday. Or I guess today technically is Saturday in the UK. Yeah, I'm going 3-0 Spain on that one. There's the disc. Uncle Ben choked on rice, ironically. Yeah. I mean, if he was going to go anyway, it was going to be that, wasn't it? That seems to be like, if I had to guess what would be the one that got rid of him, it would be that. Tasting a new recipe. But yeah, there's the Discord for everyone who wants to jump on that. It's kind of popping off now. We've got quite a fair few people. Sunday 8 p.m.
Yep.
Musical, are you going to be doing a watch along for that shit?
Saturday,
I
so
would.
I'm going to start buying offensive products and then sell them at big profit when they've been banned. You know, that's not a bad idea. It really isn't. Because you can't find any Aunt Jemima anything. It's Pearl Mining Company. So
That might be
somebody will pay for it.
that might be a quick way to the top. Oh shit! It's not called Uncle Ben anymore. What's it been called? What's it changed to? Ben's Original. I knew that.
Yeah.
I knew that. That's whack. That is. Uncle Ben sounds a little bit too. You know what I mean? It sounds a bit too. I don't know, provocative. Uncle Ben.
The Harvey.
Yeah, I'm definitely good. If you're doing. Yeah, it might be good to do a watch long for that. We can maybe get a couple of people to jump on and do a real. I'm gonna go. I'm actually visiting. I'm planning on visiting my mum to watch it with her. So I'm probably gonna do that. But I wouldn't mind having some accompaniment for that.
His Buttertooth a slur. I don't know. Might be. I don't know. But I know what he's talking about.
I've never heard that expression before. Yeah, this is. I feel like this 2 and a bit hours are just gladed by. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Fucking right. It's an Asian slur. How would that be an Asian slur? Why Buttertooth? No, don't answer that.
You
Don't answer that. I just realized what I was doing there.
Yep. You see what that curiosity gets.
Cut that. Yeah. So Chad, you're gonna do a live stream during the game as well. You need to get your face on camera, sir. Mum on stream.
Yep.
Nah, I don't want to get too personal here, but my mum actually has dementia. She has dementia, so I'm gonna she's not really able to speak too much. So I was planning on just going around there and just enjoying the game with her because it's something we used to do together back in the day. So that's my plan for doing it on a Sunday. Just getting around there and spending some quality time, you know.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Not tomorrow. I'm going to before the fight start or whatever. I'm gonna go to my nephew's track meet. Boy, it's gonna be hot. It's gonna be so hot.
Yeah, track meet days here are always fucking rough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I appreciate that brutally. I'm surprised I haven't. It's not something I usually talk about, but it felt like the right moment to explain that. Fuck football. I'm with you, man. Football's fucking whack most of the time. 95% of football games are fucking dog shit. Chad wants to hide his big Jewish honker. Oh man. Yeah, I appreciate that, Dougie. Yeah, she's not that old as well. She's like 70. She's had a whole history of like medical issues. She had like cancer, she had a stroke. And now the dementia thing was a bit of a massive kick in the balls, to be honest with you. Hopefully your mum don't call you Putin, bruv. Yeah. Yeah, that would be a difficult moment. Was it Biden that said that? They said that the other day. Didn't he call the president of Ukraine Putin or something? I'm sure I heard that somewhere. Buttertooth is a British slur. I didn't say Asian, but it goes back to the British having bad teeth. Yeah, we get a lot of bad press for our dental hygiene, which is kind of strange. It's not something I've really noticed.
I mean, that's the way that they try to portray it, for sure.
Yeah. Don't put Japan and Korea back together.
No face, no game, all Chad.
I feel like I'm getting slowly pressured into changing my name to a Christmas. Sorry, I sent that and realized it was fucking awful. No, it's all right, bro. It's all right, bro. It's all in the bants. I wouldn't have brought it up if I was like overly sensitive to it at this point. I'm not really overly sensitive to anything these days, but like, yeah, it is something that I'm fairly comfortable discussing. Gotta go, boys. Gonna listen back from the start while I'm out. Have a good arvo, bro, and like the stream, guys. Appreciate that, Dougie. Thanks for popping by
Thanks,
as well.
Dougie.
And congratulations on the Guru raid. That must have been quite a ball tingling moment.
For sure.
And obviously, thank you to Cheddar for getting that on.
Yeah, Biden is
Musical.
dude. Biden is oh my god.
Austin Powers had fucked up teeth. He did have it for the first movie, and then he went to Turkey for this in between the first and second movie. So
Get the teeth, get that hair. Turkey's got all that stuff for you.
Yeah. Cancel Christmas musical ruined it. Yeah, brutally. We've definitely got to get something arranged for the next couple of weeks, though. And by the way, I really appreciate the video you made for me, man. I was having a good laugh at it this morning when I was going through the edit. What's good, motherfuckers? I just love the way you burst into the I fucking love your energy, bro. Later, Jax, what was your channel? Can you quickly chuck your channel in there, Jax, bro?
Yeah.
Look at who I found, the musical Grinch. Brutally, are you doing a live stream for the game? I definitely need somebody to hop onto, like, because I know you've done one or two during the tournament, and I think it would be much more entertaining watching it with the commentary turned down and yours turned up.
Appreciate it, Paradox.
Paradox getting there. Thanks to that, man. Should I make my son learn judo for self-defense or sumo wrestling? Depends on how big
he is. Yeah, it all depends on how big he is.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a big fan of pork as well. I don't mind admitting that. I'm a definite pork eater. Oh, I forgot. The thing is, I forgot to. You know, I think it's got to the point now where it's probably too late for me to ask people for their parlay suggestions for tomorrow.
Yeah.
And who's gonna win and who's not gonna win? Because I think I'm just gonna win it. I think I might do that. I think I might do that. That what do you call it? That Rose and Bonfim double, and just see how that goes. That feels like the one for me.
Yeah, it's either that or let your son choose it.
Or just randomly point. Yeah, I could probably do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people are going to be live because it does feel like a family thing, doesn't it? Our first final outside of England. I can't believe we fucking made it. Have you been keeping tabs with this Jax?
A little bit. I mean, I definitely knew
that we were in the final.
Y'all made it because I was watching. Well, I was kind of watching it, but I know Brutally was watching it on the stream, and I was in that stream. I saw him go nuts when they scored, but yeah.
And to be fair, it's weird, because it's easily the best game that we've played in a tournament by a long shot. I mean, it's not that we were amazing or anything, but we were good. We actually deserved it. It's the one game that we've properly deserved to win. There was a little bit of a dubious penalty in there, which I thought was a fair penalty, but I don't know what you boys thought of that. I thought you clearly kicked the shit out of his foot, but who wins, rookie Alex Pereira or contender Izzy? I never pick Izzy. It's just not in my blood. I'm in bed, Westy, but I don't know. If you can suggest a decent poll, Paradox, we can definitely get that going. Harsh musical, but accepted. Yeah, we're definitely in the winding down phase. We're like a good 2.5 hours in now, so we're probably reaching a point where it's like, if there's anything you guys want to throw at the wall for now, Now's a good time. Yeah, we had several chances. The penalty was legit. I thought the penalty was legit, and like literally in the chat, like I was saying this to you before. The entire chat was like, "Nah, that's not a penalty." You know, it was only me and one other guy in the corner of. We felt like it was pretty clear, but yeah, do a poll for Dober or Rose. What do you mean Dober or Rose? Oh, you mean for the fight?
Oh,
Yeah, we could do a. I feel like the Dober one would be more of an interesting one.
yeah. I feel like most people are going to lean Rose,
Most people are probably going to lean Rose.
but yeah, the Dober one is interesting because Silva's not black, so he loses an edge. But
Why is it not letting me start a poll? Hang on a second. I've been frozen out of my own channel here.
so I think it's
I
safe.
can't stop. I can't stop. Oh wait, I've just realized now because I need to end this poll.
Oh yeah, you got it in there.
Fucking mongoloid. It usually gives you an option to stop it. All right, so we'll do who wins and who's the it's Chad Dober. Who's he fighting again?
Jean Silva.
All right, let's do that.
Bros. I'm Eunice.
I don't know where I'm leaning on this one. I think the main reason I'm so stuck on this one is because I don't know. I'm not quite sure where to qualify Jean Silva's ethnicity, and that's a big factor of any
It is.
Drew Dober fight pick. You know, you have to factor that into it.
No,
In the
it's a
same
big-
way as you have to
big
factor it
factor.
in when what's his name, that dude, that light heavyweight ex-cop who keeps getting beaten up by black guys as well.
Oh yeah, he does. I don't know what it is. Rose
Yeah.
Pajama Eunice.
Brutally and musical, properly going at it now. I know you got. I know. There's a love fest really there.
Is Silva mixed? Maddo said Silva's mixed.
But doesn't that make it more 50-50?
That means it's a split decision win.
Or a split decision loss? Or a double KO?
Yeah,
I'm not
appreciate
sure.
it,
How to,
Saturday.
Chris Dalkus is the one I was talking about. Yeah,
Oh man, that dude there.
he's
Him
booked a
and,
fight
him
again.
and Kyle
I think he's booked a fight again. I'm pretty sure.
in the UFC or like
Parking lot. I don't know. I think he might be.
they do rather well. Both of them do well on the regional scene. They're regional champions. But the minute they put on those UFC shorts,
They start getting their asses whooped.
the attributes all drop.
Don't you mean Bros Nama Eunice? Yeah. She's I'm not a big fan of Rose. I'm very pissed off as well that my 300th video on this fucking channel was the Rose short. I should have calculated that a little bit better. I feel like I did myself a disservice on that one. I've got 36 votes on here, and people are going for Amav. It kind of evened out with the Amavov and Allen thing. 36 votes is pretty good. It's almost the most I've had in here.
Yeah,
almost, which is cool. So I think we're gonna call for like the last minute things that you guys want to throw in here. If there's any shout outs and stuff that you want to do, now's a good time because it's like fucking 3 o'clock in the morning, and I don't have musical stamina when it starts getting to these times.
Yeah, musical is like you have a Energizer battery or something. I don't know how you do that.
But no, as always, like we appreciate the fact that you guys have turned up as always. Really appreciate it. It was I think it was a good topic to get into, and it was interesting hearing other creators' takes on how they felt about. I'm very interested to get Musical's take on that as well. If there was ever a stage and when he was going to quit YouTube,
for sure,
and what dragged him back in, because I'm quite I'd rather have Tracy win as well. And to be fair, she is undefeated in the UFC, and she hasn't really fought anyone of Rose's level, so it's going to be tough. And I don't think she's been in a 5-rounder, so
Nope.
tricky.
There's
I
some
mean, it's
new
going to be,
stuff.
and the short notice thing of it all. Didn't she have to cut her hair off to make weight as well? I don't like the sound of
Yeah,
that.
she did. She did. But I mean, it wasn't. It's like a little shortcut now. But the
How does
thing
she look?
the same. I mean, the long hair helped, but it's pretty much the same.
No,
But I will say
barely
this
notice.
is that Tracy has been fighting in this weight class longer. And so she's more accustomed to the size. And I'm curious if that's gonna
Be a factor.
Mhm.
I am a bit nervous betting on Rose because I hate her, and I was fairly convinced that she was going to get the job done against Carla Esparza, but I got midway through the fight and I was just like, I hope you lose, and I had a lot of money on the line for that, and I was like, fuck
That's
you,
the
like,
fight that made CJ super dislike her. That's the one.
yeah, I literally was happy. I wanted to lose my money at that point, watching the way she was behaving, and that very rarely happens to me because I'm usually on the side of money,
Yeah.
But I was like, fuck this bitch, man. You can take my money. Just I don't want that. I don't want this. I don't want to end in the night as champion the way she's performing.
Yeah.
Only thing that makes me want to quit is not having money for appropriate equipment to make high quality videos. That's a fair point as well, and that's something that Jax has brought up as well. Like, because like ultimately, that's what we do when we're at this level. Like, if you can make any money from this, it's all about trying to make the content better. That's usually the first step. It's like, how can I enhance the equipment, or like, do you know what I mean? Or pay for certain programs that make it easier to edit or to whatever. So that's a really good side of it that like makes a lot of sense. Because most people, when you're in YouTube, you're in a deficit for the longest time until you're way deep into things. It probably takes a long time before you break even and start going beyond that, for sure. Props to all the Greg's workers for feeding the nation. I always make it odd stopping. I still Greg's is foul, but like I can't help but indulge in a little Greg's every now and then. Docs, we better play a few Christmas songs in your stream. I think Docs is trying to drag himself out of bed right now.
Yeah. If you make good content, the money will come. It's true. If you do, you just got to figure out what good content is.
That's the tricky part, isn't it?
Yep. Because what you think is good may not be good.
Yeah.
Just an iPhone.
Oh, he's using an iPhone. Yeah, that explains it. It's like Dougie's video. Dougie's camera quality looks pretty good as well. And I'm like, I fucking bought a camera. I could have just used my iPhone, which is probably better than the camera that I bought.
Normally it is.
Which is weird.
Normally it is.
But yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up there, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for hanging out with us and for partaking in it was a good one today. It was a lot of fun.
Yep. But make sure y'all, if y'all haven't subbed to, either me or the Frankie and Jax, or obviously to Bad MMA Math, which I'm pretty sure most of you have. Make sure y'all sub to all of them, because eventually we won't be doing it on all these three. We'll be doing it.
Yeah, we're trying to transition the joint streams over there, but yeah. And obviously, if you're not subscribed to Brutally and Musical, which I couldn't explain, can't explain why you wouldn't be, definitely do that.
And Paradox, make sure you do that as well.
And Paradox too. But no, I appreciate all of you. And yeah, we'll probably catch you in somebody else's stream, and I'll be along for yours as well, Brutally, tomorrow. And thanks to all of you for hanging out. Much appreciated, guys. Raid Paradox. Appreciate it, Brutally. Take it easy, brother. Yeah. Take it easy, Musical. Saturday, all you boys. If I've missed anyone's name, D-Harv, all you guys, Aaron. Tatmas. I'm going to have to get used to that. Oh, you might be live in an hour. I'll probably still be up. I'll probably jump over to you as well, Musical.
Yeah.
All right, guys.